Oh yeah.
Mike's live. Don't be racist.
The D&D Beyond had a sale the other week. I think it was like Friday of this past week, and it was like $8 off any book. So like you could get a book for free.
Yeah.
But somebody found out that the coupon code stacked per book, and not everything you buy is $8. So like they were able to buy practically every book on D&D Beyond for $0.
I told you guys that happened the other week where they had some bundle going, yeah. And I had the bundle for every source book currently available in my cart for like $18, and then I didn't do it right away because I didn't have my credit card on me or something, and then when I went back to it later, they had figured it out and fixed it, and it was like, now it's $260. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I saw
foiled.
I don't remember where I saw it, but I think it was either D&D Next subreddit, or it was on the Glitches subreddit, which is actually Glitch, which is the music genre, not to report glitches. My favorite thing though was I'm subscribed to the Cruisers subreddit, or Harley motorcycle stuff. Just because I like seeing them sometimes. Motorcycles themselves.
There's a sub driver up. Called Glitch.
It was a thing in 2013, 2014, and Flash and
Today I learned there was a subgenre named Glitch.
How similar is Glitch to 8-bit music?
So imagine if 8-bit and dubstep had a baby.
So it's
it's like if
DDR.
aliens. It's this is basically if aliens took every single space streamed music that ever happened in the last 15 years, 20 years, and then pushed it into one thing. It's pretty good. Very very heavy on the weird noises that happen when you need to disconnect
a USB.
Just when you're just various electronic noises when there's failures, but done in a musical way. Kind of like industrial was with heavy machinery sounds. This is with electronic.
Sounds.
So you mean the music that I would play and be dancing to, and Carlos would go.
When you
when
you turn around, walk back up, and go. Yes.
So when you hit no, my initial thought was it's not unusual. Started playing immediately. Skip. It's not unusual. Oh no.
There was literally a song that was on the radio I started singing to, and he just no, because then it will get stuck in your head, and you sing it for 3 hours after this car ride.
My wife will go on runs for days where she sings the same. Not even a song. She'll pick a line from a song.
See?
And she just does that.
So
well, don't just because somebody else does it, don't take that as confirmation that it's okay.
No, it's totally fine.
It's not.
It's not okay. It's just common.
Would you say it's not unusual?
I'm gonna throw the entire dog at you.
Now, what did this dog do to deserve that? I know what I deserve to have a dog thrown at me for, but what did the dog do to deserve getting thrown at me?
There was, not this size, but there was a
Griff,
real
can you get off of there?
Lab,
Can you get down, please?
Lab that lived at
Thank
the
you.
corner across from my dad's house that hated kids
Hold up.
and was large enough to sprint jump over their very small fence. And it ran me down one day. Because it would chase kids up and down, because it was oh, you're coming near my property, I'm gonna blah 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 blah, up and down the fence, like a little dog does. And then one day it just was it came out, saw all the kids that just got off the bus were walking down the street. It goes, hoo, hoo, hoo. It just leaps right over the fence. No effort whatsoever, just right over the fence. Kids scattered in every direction. Just a nightmare.
The carnage shows you.
Full-size black lab. No. There were, across the street from them was a full-grown chow chow named Simba. It did not go in his property. So I went on his property.
And now you're here on our property. Welcome to Tabletop Legends, everybody.
We did it.
We did it.
Eventually.
I successfully got them to stop talking so that I could do my intro without having to wait 45 seconds after the countdown ended. Hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Tabletop Legends. We return. If it's not you guys, it's my dogs disconnecting all of my crap. We return sans Russell tonight, so Brahm, the role of Brahm has been recast as me doing a lazy job at it for the duration of tonight's episode.
Are you gonna do the voices?
Oh yeah.
I was really hoping Griff would still be there.
He has been polymorphed.
So, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, the Twitch affiliate program, and our super duper friends over at Little Dragon Corp. You can, if you are in the chat right now or anytime during tonight's episode, type !Little Dragon in the chat for a link to their website where you can buy all sorts of dice and gaming and tabletop fun products and use the code PROBONUS at checkout for a 10% discount on your order because they're
Dice.
just beautiful
Dice.
people, and they've done that for us. Dice. You can buy dice. I'd also like to thank...
Dice.
Is that from
From
Little Dragon Corp?
It is from Little Dragon.
There you go. I'd also like to give a shout out to Marble Moon Studio and the 8th House, the sponsor of Tabletop Legends. If you're watching us live right now on Twitch, thank you for joining us. Please be sure, if you have not done so, to like and subscribe and follow. Proficiency bonus here for not only our episodes, but everybody else's great D&D and other nerdy and awesome content that we put out every single day of the week. I am not going to spend a lot of time faffing about today. We're going to pretty much get right into it. You guys are currently on level 2, heading downwards inside an ancient Invarian research station, you have come to learn, which is what the Scarred Lands turned out to be. After hundreds and hundreds of years of the sort of indigenous peoples of this region staying away from the area, believing it was cursed and haunted, you guys have ventured in to discover that the truth of the matter is actually that there is this ancient Invarian research station where something happened. You're in the process of uncovering what that something might have been. As you have descended deeper into this facility, you have encountered these strange, vaguely humanoid creatures that appear almost as if they are several individuals almost all smashed together and occupying the same space. Creatures with multiple heads, multiple torsos, branching arms and legs. You also encountered in the outside some sort of a massive, monstrous, pseudo-undead dog creature. And every time you defeat a wave of these enemies in this facility, it seems to be triggering some sort of which you guys have speculated at this point is a temporal event, which seems to be showing you guys flashbacks of the distant past when this facility was new and operational. You have learned that the original reason for this facility being placed here was that the Invarians found something themselves down deeper into the chasm beneath the mountains above here that they were researching, and at this point you have probably more questions than you have had answers. After some very inventive forms of descending a 20-foot drop from one level to the other, as the ancient, essentially like arcane lifts are no longer functioning. You guys are now down on sub-level 2. You defeated a group of these creatures in something that turned out to be a bunk room for the researchers here. And the temporal echo that you guys witnessed showed you a group of researchers discussing essentially the head of this facility, bringing in a very special type of wizard or arcane individual from the Invarian Empire that they referred to as a chronomancer. They also have giving you some, as Fidget put them, buzzwords, things like magitech and spiritual energy that seem to have relation in some way to the Invarians' version of their own technology. So I believe when we last left off, Alar and Brahm and Walter were sort of poking around these chambers here.
Yeah, we were
At
here,
a yep.
and I believe Nula and
Yep.
Yes.
Fidget
So
were-
you guys were investigating what had at one time appears to have been like a research room where where like work had been done. Though there is nothing that you've been able to find that gives you any further information in here. Alar did some tests trying to cast spells into these stone metal protrusions from the floor itself that you guys have seen in the flashbacks are essentially like workstations, to little avail. And we will pick up, I think, with Nula and Fidget as you guys are standing at another one of these sealed hatches, much like the one that you pried open to get down here. And I believe Nula had just made a roll to try and pry it open when we called a stop to last week's session. The golden D20 is Brahm this week. So I'll run Brahm. You guys can I guess tell me when to use the golden D20 on something that you want him to do. And that's how we'll handle it.
I'm explicitly not
Okay.
Alright, let's
Right.
dig in.
All right.
Ha ha ha.
So Nula, you have
Yes.
baby. You have opened this hatch, and just like before, there is a narrow, straight shaft that leads about 20 feet down to the next deeper level.
Cast light on a rock and drop it.
Okay. That was not confusion towards you. That was confusion towards my music, which just closed itself when I hit the play button.
Doesn't want to be associated with us.
Yeah.
I hear the door. I have the door open, and I go, "Oh crap! Okay, Ordis, when are you gonna do that?"
It's fine.
What?
Never mind.
No one's gotten seriously injured yet. We're okay.
So if people are gonna get injured, thanks for the warning.
I mean, it is us.
Don't encourage the goblin.
I'm gonna limp on over.
And Brahm will follow behind you guys.
I believe we are both pretty jacked up.
I had to guess at what his HP is because, like a butthole, he doesn't accurately keep track of his character sheets on D&D Beyond for me to look up when he's not here.
I thought he healed himself a bunch.
I'm pretty sure he did.
But where did he?
That's why I gave him 30 hit points
How many
out of his
spells did he
52.
use? How many hit points are left?
I thought he was almost full because
Yeah,
he
but
just
at the cost of how
healed
many
himself.
spells? We don't know.
I have a decent idea of how many spells he used, and I've given him a fairly maybe he was full.
Hold on, guys.
I
We'll be back
vaguely
in
remember.
2
Yeah,
hours.
we'll be
We'll
back
go
in
check the gate.
20 minutes. We'll figure this out. I actually do think he did heal up.
I think he burned enough
Yeah, I
spells
think
to
he
be full.
used the higher
Well,
spells.
And I
as
think
punishment for his bullshittery, he's got 40 hit points now, which is still good. It's almost full for him. So he's doing okay.
because I used 10 hit points
Okay.
to heal someone, not me.
It was probably him. He did get grabbed by one of those creatures, and then Fidget and Walter just abandoned him.
I cast 2 whole spells.
That's true. All right, so what are you guys doing? You're looking down a 20-foot drop to a Fidget. When you drop your light rock, you see almost the exact same sight that you saw coming into this level. That down there was another one of those platforms with those pedestals that, you assume were it operational would be essentially like a levitating lift that would come up and down. But it is inactive and otherwise dark down there, except for your light rock.
All right.
Real quick, Walter, do you need healing?
I'll be okay for a little bit.
Alright.
Just walk it off.
Do you want me to go down first, then I'll...
I'm fine, thanks.
I thought... Did you get hit?
I'm pretty sure I got hit at some point. I actually
I
don't
can
know.
heal you too.
I have taken 6 whole points of damage. Thank you.
I need healing!
No,
Okay.
I'm fine.
And that 6 points of damage was definitely from you throwing
Yes.
yourself down that pit. Right? Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
that's self-inflicted. Nula, again, lower me down.
Real quick. 1
I'm
point of healing.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse.
And now I will lower you down.
Thank you.
All right. So Nula lowers Alar down with the rope.
I figure
Reach.
we're running low on rope, so I'm just.
I
gonna
think
let them-
yours and
I believe I donated mine to the cause for getting down. In the first place.
Alar's and Walters are currently
2 to
Yeah.
get.
in the entrance, hanging from the top side.
And then
Brahms was used
To
to
get-
get down to this level.
So then
And is
yours-
currently tied to
yours is
your
the last
spike.
one.
Yeah.
let's hold on to yours.
Yes, that's right, because it was in the door, and then he took it out of the door. So I had it like jamming.
You had it in the door, but you guys didn't have anything to anchor the rope to, so you took it out of the door and have planted it in the like the floor above that entrance to this level.
And then did cumulative 60 falling damage.
Yes.
I mean, you can hold it while some of us climb down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will hold it and let everyone climb down.
Do you want to just like hang out there and wait for us to need to come back?
Or I can
nope.
jump down once we're done.
Then how do we get back up?
Someone will just have to stand on someone else's shoulders and.
Waste.
Yep. And then
If
we'll
you
tie it
can-
That's a lot of people.
So
20 feet is a lot.
if
That's like 8 of me.
Fidget will not be able would not be able to manage this, but like theoretically, and in her heavy armor it might be hard for Nula, but in terms of like getting back up, if you are able to lift somebody like the 10 feet to the shaft from the level below, they could potentially like kind of like arms and legs on either side of that shaft, like shimmy their way back up if you were in a real pinch. Just to give you a sense of sort of like the scale and size. I mean, if you have other shenanigans, but worst comes to worst, like it is theoretically possible for somebody to just on sheer like athleticism climb back up if you guys need to.
How much do you think I'm gonna not survive? You need me to eat birds in a row.
Send me down first. I'll start casting Tensor's floating disc, and hopefully that extra 3 feet of space will help cushion the blow. Best I can do at this point.
Okay, so I lower everyone else down.
Okay. Easy enough.
I'll take like 10 minutes to ritual cast the
Okay.
Tensors.
So as Nula, you're waiting up top as he begins to sit down and cast this spell. What are the two of you guys doing as you are down here? I will give you the next the map of the next floor.
How long do I think I still have on that potion of comprehend languages?
Quite a while. You haven't. When did you drink it? You drank it.
He drank it
In the first room,
right?
yeah.
I cast it in the second room.
Okay. You've got quite a bit of time.
Okay.
At this point, I will say yours is probably like let's call it halfway burned,
Okay.
and you've used like 15 minutes of yours.
Okay.
So wait, where
So
are
you
we?
came down here. You are currently here.
Just tell me when I need to cast another one. I will just do that.
Just
Slide
stuff
this
a little
Yeah,
bit.
I have it as a ritual, so I when I burn through mine, I have that as a.
Actually,
We
more
do have
space to
like
play with.
15 bajillion potions of comprehend languages.
Oh,
I know,
I'm just gonna use spell slots.
My intention is to hold on to those for night watches, or crap I burned through my glug.
That's fair.
Alrighty.
I will.
You should go to ritual cast comprehend languages.
If you want to make it easier, if
but
you
that
guys want to
takes
put your
time.
minis just
I
like
get-
off the side of that map so that I can accurately point things out to you, because that's clearly not to scale. So you are in here.
Hold
obviously, and from
Okay.
coming straight down, you
Every-
can't see
every time I
anything. You'd
cast
have to go
anything,
down
you
this
spell,
little
I get a
hallway.
spell.
Okay, I will head to to this corner here
Okay.
and carefully peer out.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check.
19.
19. Okay. Fidget, anything you're doing, or are you just waiting over by Walter? You see Alar kind of like creeps ahead to go peek around out this way.
Don't die.
Wait, what? What's happening down there?
Shush!
I'll catch you, Nula.
Do I need to jump down?
Give it like 5 more minutes.
Is everyone okay down there?
And so, and Alar, as you have made it out here, as they're like not lowering their voices, this is like echoing in this massive cavern that you have entered.
At this point, I'm just like, okay, where's the death coming from?
So what you walk around and see, at least from the vantage point of just peeking around that corner, when that short hallway kind of makes a turn and opens up into like a wider passage, it goes about 15 feet, and then you see it essentially opens up onto what looks like a wide veranda. Though you can't really see the details beyond the where like the ledge is, and there's like a sort of a half wall railing type of thing. You can at least see out and over that, whereas you had been in like corridors and chambers the first 2 levels, it seems you have come out to a portion of the research station that has been like built into the side of a huge cavern wall. This cavern is about 150 feet like straight that way. And you can sort of just vaguely, you really can't see any details in the back as it's too far out of even your dark vision. You can just kind of get a sense that it extends thus far, and as their voices are kind of echoing beyond, and you see it hear it like reverberating off the walls of this chamber.
Does everyone have enough potions if I don't make it down quick enough?
Nula.
Potions if I don't make it down.
Nula,
Potions.
jump down.
Is it okay if I jump down?
Jump.
Okay.
You're trying to like lower yourself down? Or
She
you
said cannonball. She's taking the full 20 feet of fall damage.
Nula has broken her spine.
You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
And probably about as soon as she lands and gets back up, I imagine my tensor's disc will have suddenly appeared.
The tensor floating disc cuts Nula in half. As it,
So here's a fun question. What does her landing on this like shell stone floor in full armor?
Oh,
let's find out. It's loud is about all that happens. It seems whatever this material is sturdy enough that like it didn't like shatter under her weight, but she hits it with like her her metal armor and her shield and her boots like come down on this thing, and it lets out a sound like which just comes whipping around this corner Alar and just like out into the chamber.
My ears are ringing.
My body's ringing.
Having cast Toll the Dead as many times as you had, you're like,
Yeah, no,
tolls for me.
I just slowly walk past back to you. I give you the paladin judging look. I turn it on Fidget.
Huh?
And I look back at you because you start looking back up. Then I'm looking quickly at you.
I'm just gonna point at like the suddenly like tensor's disc that pops up. It's like it's done.
Brom's like, wow, that's real helpful, Walter.
I asked
And you guys hear like clap, clap, clap. He's like, ah, shit.
I
We need to
asked, was it okay to jump?
For the sake of stealth, please stand on the disc.
Jump on the disc.
Alright, so
I'm back
do we
up.
need to take a second to make you feel okay, or are you alright?
I will heal 9 back.
Okay.
technically that disc will just follow me around.
That's fine.
Silently, of course.
Yep.
And floating free, like 2 or 3 feet above the floor.
Okay. Left, right, left.
How tall is Nula?
How tall are dragon bones?
Imagine you're sitting on your mouth like T-posing through the tablet things.
You tell me.
How tall is the disc?
The text specifically says
The disc is 3 feet off the
it's-
ground.
It's specifically, it's like
She said
10
she
foot wide.
climbed up on it. So if you're standing on it and it's 3 feet off the ground, I want to know if your horns begin to go along the ceiling as soon as he moves.
So I think I'm like 7 feet.
It's 10 feet.
Yeah. So like,
Are you?
if you're
If we go more than a foot, I'm going to tell her to sit down. If it's like
I would
scraping
imagine
across.
if you went to go stand up on it, like your horns basically go like kink
I
into
swear
the
to God,
ceiling.
she
You're like,
gets
oh.
stuck in the ceiling.
No, they don't get stuck in the ceiling. You just know that like they hit it, and you can't stand fully upright on top of this disc in here. So you're gonna have to like either sit or crouch or something.
I sit crisscross applesauce.
All right, which is a real trick in
Heavy
chainmail.
Sorry, I just imagine her, like standing up on it, getting stuck in the ceiling, and as like it slowly goes.
It
she's,
floats
like,
away.
dangling there by her horns.
Yes, guys.
I can't reach. I can't reach.
Guys.
I
I head to the left.
I'm going to slowly try to follow it. Try as wide as possible.
Oh, I've
Alrighty.
given up stealth at this point. Anything that knows, right, everybody knows we're here.
So,
Why am I on this?
To save you from having to keep you fresh for later.
We need to conserve your energy.
It's definitely the reason. It's nothing to do with noise.
so as you descend to the 3rd level and you make your way around the corner just beyond the boundaries of the room containing the connecting shaft, you find yourself looking out over a wide open space. Before you is an expansive overlook inside a gigantic cavern, which fades into the distance several hundred feet outside of your vision. Along the edge of the overlook are an evenly spaced row of light pillars, which, as you guys like step out into this area, illuminate. They're made of that same sort of silvery crystalline lattice work that was on the walls of the higher levels. The illumination from them allows you to discern the general layout of this chamber as you enter into it. The Invarian structure disappears into the cavern wall again, but a dozen or so feet beyond, and this is to the to one side, so that's to this side, to your right. The Invarian structure disappears into the cavern wall, but a dozen or so feet beyond, you see the part of the structure poke out over a ledge in an observation chamber style outcropping. So this part goes back inside the cavern wall, but then beyond over here, you can see that like it sticks out in like a observation overhang. The other direction, a long enclosed passageway has been built into the rock wall of the cavern, curving around the space to another chamber about a third of the way around the cavern. The long hallway is windowed, so this is like set into the wall. So it's like wall, and then in between this is like stone chamber with windowed panes in it. Most of the panes are empty. Only 1 or 2 still contain a heavy-looking crystalline, transparent sheet. The chamber floor is roughly 50 feet below, and is mostly flat, save for numerous piles of rubble around the area. In the center, you can make out a jagged hole in the floor with the remains of some sort of large piece of equipment hanging over the edge. There are 3 more of those light towers down below, like almost like work lights in this area, which have come to life. And by their light, you see down there are a trio of those creatures. They are all currently not moving, but they absolutely know you're there. As you come up, you come up to the edge, you see them looking at you, and kind of
Do they have faces, or are they just
no, it's essentially the shape of a head, and sort of the ones that at least have so of the 3 of them, one of them has one singular head that has sort of the suggestion of where a nose and a brow ridge would be, but there's no features. One of the other ones essentially has its head is more like somebody took a head and then fanned it out like this. There's a bunch of heads. It's all sort of noses pointed, but they don't have any features. They seem to be made of that solid charcoal type material. Motionless blank head staring in direction. Beyond them, at the far end of the cave, now that the lights have come on, you see a huge hole in the floor. Or another huge hole in the floor, bigger than that first one. And you can make out just the very faint illumination of more of the Invarian silvery lights coming from deeper down inside that hole. So you have chamber over here. You can see the hallway of another chamber here. As you look, you can make out sort of the opening in the wall here, and you can see down below where there's a break. It looks like there's an access to this lower level here, and then this hallway continues on that way.
All right.
Observation.
Usually I was headed this way toward the.
Then there's unknown stuff on 2 sides of us.
Well, there's going to be unknown stuff on 2 sides of us anyway, because if we go this way, anything that's here will be unknown. If we go that way, anything that's here will be unknown.
Yeah, but if we go this way, then everything over here and everything over there is unknown. We can clear over the corner.
Fair enough. All right. Turn around.
You need to be more scared of things.
Fidget, honestly, I look down at you. You scare me. And I move past him.
That's probably for us.
And I turn around suddenly. And you should be scared of me. And then I move on.
I don't think anybody heard that at the table or on the internet.
You need to stage whisper into the microphone. Horse tips. Horse tips.
All right.
Definitely did not hear you say tips. But sure. Sorry.
So head toward the observation deck.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
Going that way.
Yeah, following. With,
All right. So what is your order, your marching order there as you're getting up to the door?
I would probably be last. Technically Noah's last because this thing follows me.
I will be first.
I'm as close to the front as people will allow Fidget to be.
I guess you're right behind me.
In between his legs like a cat.
Trip.
I will. After the third one, I will literally pick him up.
just scruff the goblin. Yeah, rub his nose in it.
Brahm is like, we are getting paid way too much for the quality of job that we do.
Don't tell them.
They just need to see the results. They don't need to know the work.
All right. So you approach the door as you get to kind of the end of that little hallway there. Inside this enclosed space, there is a doorway here, sealed much like the others.
I will ask Brahm to hold Fidget.
He's like,
Then I will put Fidget in his hands.
all right.
And then I
He's
will.
like, hey.
I will check the door for traps.
Aim the wizard at the direction of the enemies.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna point you like dangerous end away from me. And he's like,
I just don't want him. I don't want to try and crack this door and she's gonna shove it open, because you would.
I mean,
you can try and see what happens.
Not helping Walter.
We're in a mood tonight.
23 for investigation.
It's a blank door.
Okay,
It's a charcoal shadow door.
so
Oh no.
I will open the door. And,
You know at this point that that's gonna require crowbarring. It's not like a push door.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so strength check.
I am going to prepare to Eldritch Blast anything that comes out of the door.
Okay.
Strength check 15.
Okay. You do in fact successfully open the door, and two things will happen simultaneously. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, and you can Eldritch Blast. Because just like happened to Nula before, as soon as you pry that door open, the dark shape of one of these things
11 and 20.
okay, launches out of the okay. So you basically you pry bar and you see the the dark shape from within rush at you. And you're able to just throw yourself out of the way. Let's go to a scale map here. Just slide these a tidbit over. Oh, Fidget came off his pedestal.
It's okay, he's being carried.
That's true.
I just color match the rolls just in case they both hit.
Is it is auditioning for his role in the Mandalorian?
I don't think he's not gonna hang on.
Baby Yoda.
I don't know. He's got stiff competition. Everyone loves Baby Yoda.
So you're here.
I'm still mad the official name is The Child. Don't sue us!
Neil's here.
We call it Baby Yoda because that's not a trademark name.
So, essentially what you're looking at is...
Does that mean all children are trademarked?
That's right.
That's actually the gameplay from Disney. It's like they
It's 2020.
trademarked The Child.
Disney knows all. Disney owns children. All children are now property of Disney. Congratulations. Mouse tips. There is only one mouse tip, and that tip is
Don't.
obey.
No.
Okay, so you guys are kind of in that little hallway there. You open the door, and there are... Immediately, one basically launches itself onto Alar. Or attempts to, anyway. Alar dodges. There. So they're sort of out of your guys' line of sight, but you can kind of start to see them moving in there. And let's go ahead and roll some initiative real quick. Did you roll above a 4 for once?
6.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So with or without your initiative bonus,
What's with?
is your initiative bonus 0?
It's +1.
Oh. Surprisingly an extra 7.
Especially for how her initiative general goes.
Yeah. Actually, it's
Roll
worse.
for the monsters. Okay. Alrighty, 25 to 20.
Well, we're starting off great.
19 to 15.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
12.
12.
14.
14. Walter.
Are these going to have an effect on my turn, or
What's that?
are the Eldritch Blasts going to be...
No, we'll do them right now because he essentially held an action as he was opening the door. I got to roll for Brahm too.
5.
Brahm gets a 15.
You're not in the top quarter.
And you're a 6, right?
Yep.
And what's Fidget? 5.
I beat someone.
But what if it was...
I could do that, but I'm not going
Probably
to.
the best. Yeah.
And I have
Alrighty.
one more of those today.
Yeah, let's save that for when we desperately need it.
Alrighty, so go ahead and roll your damage, or tell me what your damage was there.
So the 2 hit was an 11 and a 20.
Oh, the 11 will not hit. The 20 will.
It's 6 points of force damage, and it flies 10 feet back.
Shoved backwards into the room.
It's only 10 feet.
Thanks!
We're learning.
Alrighty. And with that, it is Brom's turn. Brom is going to set Fidget on the ground.
I thought he was going to throw me.
I don't think you can throw 30 feet.
Yes. Yeet.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Cast Fly on the Wizard.
And Brom is going to try a minor illusion. He's going to create a minor illusion of the door closing again. Kind of quietly as he does this, you see him he mutters and waves his hands, and it's sort of like a vaguely. The spell is vaguely has this sort of wilting quality to it as he casts it, and as soon as he does it, you guys see the door slide shut again, and he goes minor illusion, so that you guys know it's fake. And the Alar, it is your turn.
I can still see the injured one, yes? Because I know that's...
Since you are aware that it's an illusion, it sort of appears vaguely transparent to you, so you can see them in there.
Okay. That one gets to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
DC 13.
It rolls a 16, and its wisdom is a -1, so it's 15. So you said it was what was the mark?
13.
Okay, so it does succeed.
happens.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything else?
We'll take a 5-foot step back.
Okay. It is their turn. And... Okay. Okay. And okay. The one that Walter shoved back, you see as it steadies itself again, as that door slam goes up, it stops. However, the other two rush forward. These two kind of zip around the corner here. Yep, just like that. They basically just rush out as far as they can get.
Okay.
They are going to do nothing this turn, as they did have to use their action to examine the wall. So that's it for these three this turn. And
it's like a flat door. It's not looking down.
yeah, it's just like you're looking through a doorway into a room. Yeah. Walter, you are up.
I'm gonna try to shove them back in the door.
Alrighty, which both of them splitting.
So I'm splitting one each.
'Kay.
Green is going to be this guy. Blue is going to be this guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll all at the same time in case it hits. 10 is the low. Blue.
10 does not hit.
The other one's 17 plus stuff.
17 will hit.
So green, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, he's going to go 10 feet away from me.
See, that's Frogman.
And it takes 4 points of force damage. Yeah. So yeah, it's 10 feet.
Sure. Where was he standing?
He was standing here.
So
Yeah, that's fine.
My thought was he would go straight back and kind of do one of these, straddle the line here, and then.
We'll say that the force of the Eldritch Blast kind of shoves him at backward at an angle into the wall, and then the momentum kind of rolls him around the door jamb back into the room just a little bit on the inside.
Be an overly dramatic guy rolling across a wall.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that's from though.
Star Trek.
Yes.
They did that a lot.
Kirk, yeah.
Yes.
Kirk
All right. Nula, you're up.
I am going to move up.
All right, so remember, every space of one of your allies you pass through there is difficult terrain. So it'll cost you 2 squares worth of movement. 5, 10, 15, 20. right? Because you can go diagonal from
Yeah.
there. So it takes you 20 to get to there.
You can go there.
Yeah, that's
25. Yep. Okay.
And I'm going to hit the guy.
Okay. Roll to hit.
First attack is 15.
15 will hit. Yes.
And the second attack is 8.
An 8 will not.
9 damage.
9 points of damage. Okay. Alrighty. Fidget, you're up.
Nope.
All right. Fidget backs
Ray
up.
Frost.
And Ray of Frost, which one? The one in the doorway?
The one that I can see.
Okay.
That is
Should be at 15.
15.
It's a 15. A 15 will hit.
11 points of cold damage.
Alrighty. So your Ray of Frost, like, kind of like arcs, goes over all of your allies and slams into this creature, which, again, as is typical of them at this point, doesn't really make any noise or particular reaction, save from you see, like, sort of the front of its partially deformed head kind of, like, ices over. And back at the top of the order, it's Brahm's turn. He's going to maintain concentration on his minor illusion for now. And what kind of weapons has he got on him?
I believe he has a bunch of daggers.
Yes.
And
His
a
character
bunch of
sheet. His character sheet has rapier.
Sounds correct.
So he'll do nothing. He'll just maintain concentration on minor illusion, and he's too far away to really do anything, and he doesn't want to step in the front again, so he'll just wait there. Okay, and it is Alar's turn.
Casting Blade.
Okay.
And missing.
All right. You lunge forward, but you're not able to successfully make contact with this thing as it continues to move around, and it has that sort of same weird, like, frame skipping motion. It makes it hard to gauge exactly where they're going to be as they move from 1 second to the next. So you thrust forward and find that it zagged when you thought it was going to zig, and that brings us to their turn. And as the first one, the one that didn't do anything before, as it watched its allies run through the door, no longer seems fooled by the illusion, so it charges forward at this point as well. Up to Nula. Yep. And 2 of them are going to attack Nula, and 1 will attack Alar. These lunging attacks. All right, so they'll put these 2 for Nula. Okay, neither of those are very good. And the one against Alar is a...
protection.
Okay. It's a 20.
That'll hit. I only have.
Oh, wait, I got to roll with disadvantage. That's what protection does. Hang on. It would have been a 20, and instead...
But what if it was a...
What if it was a 7 instead? So it it swings forward and Nula's clangs into it with her shield and doesn't manage to hit you. For a second I was like, oh, it increases his AC, but it doesn't. That's their turn. So they're sort of like clustering at this doorway here. And it is Walter's turn.
The one from Nula has to make a DC 14 con save against my frostbite.
Okie dokie. It rolls a 2. Its con modifier does happen to be a 22, so it's going to make... No,
So it takes 8 points of cold damage.
8 points of cold damage,
and
okay.
It has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay. That, and then disadvantage. Okay. And anything else?
No. I'm gonna. Nah, I'm good. I'm fine. I think it's okay there.
Alrighty.
It's nice and safe back here.
It is safe back there. I use my last spell slot to misty step away.
Alrighty. Which brings us to Nula. It's your turn. You have 2 of these creatures in front of you. One of them has just been thocked with this kind of blob of cold magic from somewhere behind you.
I'm going to attack that one first.
Okay, roll the hit.
18 to hit.
18 does hit.
So we need to work on tag team Mr. Freeze puns.
11.
11 points of damage?
Yep.
To that guy. Okay. Alrighty.
Ice to
Is he
meet
still
you.
He's still standing. You flap him with your hammer. You see, like, part of his... He's got this, like, weird double shoulder, double arm thing. You sort of, like, crush a set of shoulders together into more of, like, one solid shoulder. But he's still up. Was your second attack was a 14? A 14 will also hit, yes.
That's only 5.
5 points of damage, okay. Alrighty. You wail into that one. And it is Fidget's turn.
Ray of Frost.
The same one that Nula just hit, or the one that...
This one.
Okay.
That is an 18.
18 will hit.
7 points of cold damage.
Alrighty.
We're gonna stay there.
It's not that one. It's this one. 7, you said, right?
Yep.
Gotta follow up with a nice pun.
He's working on
No, I'm not. I'm just looking up now.
Okay.
What does the weeb say? The weeb says, chill out.
It is Brahm's
The
turn.
only one that I had.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's see. I know he used a bardic
Ice
inspiration.
knowing
Oh, jeez.
Yes, he did use Bardic Inspiration.
He's going to use a second one at this point. He's going to go... he's going to go, "Hey, Walter. That was a real cool maneuver you just pulled there."
Cutscene to, like, Russell just like...
He goes, "All right, I'll see myself out." And he's gonna back up 5 feet.
Just turns around and walks away.
He stops. He does stop concentrating on the minor illusion, as it doesn't seem to have be affecting them anymore. He will bardic inspiration you, and then he's just gonna back up.
Oh, that was his bardic inspiration?
That was his bardic
I'll
inspiration.
take it. Alright, it's a D8.
Yeah. I guess
It's a D8.
for his action, he sort of turns after he does that to you. He goes, "And you," and he points at the one in front of Aelar. He goes, "You're next, bitch." And it's gonna make a wisdom saving throw against his vicious mockery, which it crits on. So it just sort of goes like turns back towards Alar. Alrighty, and Alar, it is your turn.
I'm going to skip the puns. I'm going to try and stab that thing.
All right.
Oh, don't skip puns.
You get +2 to hit with puns.
Don't need it. That's an 18.
An 18 will hit.
Lucky here.
$28 points. It's just like
Woo!
pun.
And
Darn.
you just like pull through, and then like two-hand the hilt of your rapier, and just like drag it sideways out of the creature, which like cracks in half and falls to the ground. So that one is dead.
A blizzard of damage.
I move up next to you, and there's actually a. Not you two.
Alar gets stabbed in the neck while making deadpan faces instead of paying attention to the fight. He's like, "Worth it. You needed to know how lame that was." All right. So it is their turn. That one is going to swing around Nula, or around its ally there. So it will have to leave Nula's. Oh, I guess it technically doesn't. I guess it can move through its ally there. So it will not invoke an attack of opportunity.
Wait.
And
Protection.
you can protection. So we'll attack Alar first at disadvantage. The lower of the two is a. The lower of the two is still a 20. It was a 15 and an 18.
It's okay. It's all right.
So that will hit, and then the other one will attack you.
Also have disadvantage from my frosted blade.
That which one?
The one attacking Nula specifically.
Okay, so he has disadvantage. So his first attack is that. His second attack is that. So with the disadvantage, his to hit is only 13.
I was gonna say 30. I What are you putting against us?
So that one, the one will hit Alar, dealing 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are
Can he dodge?
grappled. Okay? So you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but you are, like, wrapped up in this thing as it grabs onto you. Alrighty. Walter.
That's quite the flurry of blows they're dishing out. And I'm going to frostbite the one that's grappling Alar.
Alright.
Again, he's suffering. It's a 14 con save.
Okay. What did I give these guys for saves? Doesn't quite make it, only gets a 13.
Alright, well, it takes 5 points of cold damage.
Okie dokie. That's spear guy. 5, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
Foggy.
Yep.
Spear.
Okay. That was the wrong one. Boop. It's that guy. Okay. Alrighty. And he has disadvantage next turn?
Yes, Frog has this.
Okay. Alrighty. Nula, you're up.
Alright. I'm going to attack the one in front of me.
Okay. Roll a hit.
8 to hit.
No, an 8 will not hit.
Alright, second attack.
Okay.
10 to hit.
No, not quite. So you kind of swing into this thing, but it's like this weird motion of theirs makes it so difficult to like choreograph your battle with them. They don't move like opponents you're used to fighting against hand to hand.
I just wiped out.
All right.
You slip on the ice!
Extra step.
No.
It's a snowboarding pun. It's close enough.
No. No, it's not.
Oh boy. We've run out of snow puns. We've now moved into surfing. And all right, Fidget, you're up.
22 to hit with Ray of Frost.
Yes, which one?
One of the ones.
That one. Okay.
We better give Ayla the cold shoulder.
See, at least he tried.
5 points of cold damage.
5, you said?
5.
Alrighty. Okay. We enter phase 2 of the battle, where both of the enemies have now enraged. As you've used too many puns.
Do we all have this mockery now?
Yeah. Okay. And it is Brom's turn, and Brom will...
Be mad at everybody else for taking this thing. I don't know if Russell has had Brom make any puns whatsoever.
He has not. He's above that.
Russell,
He's above that.
Yeah, he's above that.
I'd like to believe that Russell is watching, and that as soon as we devolve into ice puns, just immediately shut it off.
We had 3 people watching. Now we have 1.
He'll vicious mockery again, and he'll say, he goes towards the frog one. He goes like, but that's gonna be real demoralizing. You're getting your ass kicked by a bunch of people making cold puns, and it fails its save. And it looks a little. It takes 4 points of psychic damage, and it kind of like sort of stutter steps in its stride as it is currently trying to throttle Alar. And Alar, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to try and stab the one that's in front of Nula.
Okay.
As to Living Blade. 12.
Not quite.
Okay.
You're like try to kind of reach out, but this thing is like choking you, and you can't quite get the end of the rapier into the bad guy. And it is their turn, so they are going to. They're both going to attack Nula this time, as they keep trying to get at Alar. She keeps like sticking her shield in front of him. So this one basically like one-handed has you by like the throat, and with its like other side multi-arms, it just like starts punching at Nula. So we're gonna get 2 of them. We're gonna attack you. That one has disadvantage, I believe, right?
The frog has disadvantage.
I'll roll him first. Would have been a 19, but is instead a 1, so he misses. And the other one is a 19. A 19 does hit. Okay. Where's my damage dice? There it is. That is 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled. Okay. Alrighty. That is going to be their turn. And that brings us to Walter.
I keep track. We're using the ones they used early on. I'm just gonna frostbite the frog. DC 15 con save.
It does make its con save this time.
Okay. It takes probably no damage. I don't think it's a half con save.
I think it takes nothing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's just chilly.
So you sort of.
See, if I would have used the pun, I would have got it.
Yeah, probably. All right. The sort of just like a puff of cold sort of tassels your hair, Alar, as you're being choked. And it is Nula's turn.
I'm gonna attack the one going after it.
All right. We'll hit.
That is 19 to hit.
That definitely hits.
10 damage.
Okie dokie.
Still standing.
Oh yeah.
That is 23 to hit.
Yes.
And 7 damage.
Okay.
We're having so much fun.
I hate you all.
Well, it's dead. Alar's dead. Campaign's dead.
Yeah.
Where's our canceled graphics?
We need the canceled graphic. If anybody's watching in chat, I will mail a set of dice to whoever comes up with a better cold-related pun than anybody in the party during the remainder of tonight's episode. Go.
It's not hard.
Alrighty.
I've started Googling.
That was
them,
Nula's
so I have a
Fidget's
fluffer.
turn. Wait a minute. You can't Google.
Cheating.
Can't Google.
Nor can you bang, nor can you duck, duck,
Fidget is up.
That is a 14.
14 does hit, yes.
You guys must be dinosaurs because we're the Ice Age. 4 points of cold damage.
Very historically inaccurate to the current campaign setting.
They're not dinosaurs. They're peeps. They're gonna be dinosaurs.
Peeps. Roll the D100. No dinosaurs this time, unfortunately. Sorry, what happened? What did you do?
Four
Besides make a terrible
points of
pun?
cold damage.
4 points of cold damage to the...
Fidget is actually a dinosaur conspiracy
To the-
theory.
Just smash cut the box. Even I can't save this campaign. Ugh.
4 points of cold damage to which one?
This one.
That one, okay.
The knoll. Okay.
Brahm leaves.
Right.
He's like, I can't anymore. I'm gonna go lay down. Alar. You're up.
One choking the life out of me, DC 13 wisdom save.
He fails. Just
Okay.
barely.
14 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so this boom fills the air and kind of echoes back out into the chamber behind you guys. And
Cold.
it is their turn.
With my the one hand that was trying to keep him from choking me, I just let go, let it start choking me, and
Protection.
The one that's there, the one that's got you, Nula, is going to drag you that way. So it can move 5, 10, 15.
Like this way.
Yeah.
you want to get in.
You will get an attack of opportunity. as it drags her into the chamber.
Will I get an attack of opportunity?
14.
14 does hit.
Yay! Sneak attack.
I'll start rolling some dice while he's doing that.
30 points of damage.
30 points of damage. Okay. Alrighty, so as this one drags, begins to drag Nula in, just as it gets beyond your range, you just lunge the rapier out, and it goes into its head. And Nula, you are released as it falls dead to the ground. The other one is going to attack you, and that is a 20 to hit.
Can I protect
No, because it pulled you away from him. Only 3 points of damage though.
Okay. Uncanny dodge.
I was like, you're gonna use uncanny dodge on 3 points of damage, but you get it
Why
every
would you?
turn.
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
I? There's only one left. That we know of.
For now.
You know there's at least 3 more, right? Down.
You definitely know there's 3 more down there. Well, you know there.
These aren't the 3?
No,
No.
you couldn't see into this room.
All right, that is their turn. As another one is driven down to the ground, and it is Walter's turn.
We're gonna mix it up a bit. We are going to
Ooh.
chill touch it.
Okay.
That's fine. That still counts.
Sort of.
Still on brand.
Don't tell me. A wintry mix?
21.
21 hits.
I'm giving you a hand. Because as a spectral. 21 hits.
Yep.
So it's going to be 2d8. 7 points of necrotic damage.
7 points of necrotic damage is enough as the last one of these creatures drops to the ground.
It ended on a relevant pun. So
I had a good one.
You guys are out of combat. And as expected, as the last one falls to the ground, the air wavers and rumbles, and a pressure builds behind your guys' eyes and in your heads, and your vision swims, and you get slightly dizzy. At this point, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw. As you have now, this is the third of these you have passed.
8.
8, okay.
Did you add your? Yeah, you did.
And don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
Don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
13?
Okay.
Is everyone adding Nula's I'm a paladin, I'm good at things? Only you would get that because you're the only one who's
Okay, what's
I'm not
that
close
bonus?
enough.
So plus 2, I think, which gives you a 15.
Okay, 15.
Oops.
20.
Okay. I'll roll for Brahm.
Is it a Constitution saving
Constitution saving throw. Ooh, Brahm super fails.
throw? A 3.
Okay.
As it was a natural 1.
How
Ooh.
important do we think this is?
So, Alar, you were the only one who succeeds thanks to Nula's bonus. Everybody else who was below a 15, you guys take 10 points of psychic damage.
How is it 20?
Oh, right, 20. Sorry, you also succeed. Those of you below 15 take 10 points of psychic damage. As like,
Not that I want to. But would a crit fail double that?
no, I don't do like
I'm
crit
just,
fail.
I'm just asking questions. I'm not implying that I want to be.
I appreciate your willingness to get absolutely railed, but no, you're okay. You just take the 10.
You're just too busy thinking of more puns.
As the essentially the temporal echo begins, Nula and Alar, you guys are like right in here for this. Walter, you can kind of see around them into it. Fidget and Brahm are more like, a little further back, that you guys kind of, are more seeing like the parts of the hallways that you're in.
Walk in
As it's going, you can definitely like head rush up there. And so those of you with comprehend languages currently running, you will understand the following. The rest of you just hear a bunch of Invarian.
I'm just gonna see if there's anything like that. to read.
Sure.
That's in the area.
As the echo washes over you, you guys kind of like your head swim. Those of you who failed, like you're like, and you kind of like reach up and like noses start to bleed a little bit. The chamber has become as new again. It is what appears to be another research room, much like the one that you had been in before. There are a few tables in this area. Prominently, there are a trio of Invarians in this chamber here. They are not wearing the robes that you have seen on the researchers who you've seen in past echoes, but they are wearing lightweight fitted armor. They are standing around one of these tables looking at something. It is the corpse of a canine-looking creature. It is about the size of like German Shepherd-ish, say like a large-ish sized dog. However, it is not a dog per se. It is. It has short, bluish fur or hair. Its head is slightly more elongated than a standard dog, and it's much more bestial in appearance than like a common canine or even a wolf. It is laying on the table. It is clearly dead. Appears to have been killed by slashing weapons of some sort. You do see these elves are all equipped with swords at their hips. And as the echo settles into place, you see these three elves looking over this corpse of a creature laid out on this table. And one of them is saying, "Group of them made their way into the vessel. Came from somewhere deeper within the cavern network, it seems. Mage, that head researcher Wintermoon brought in, says they're likely attracted to the energy his device produces. Grab any equipment you need. We need to head down there right away. Anything near that chronal thing that disrupts it is apparently catastrophically bad for everyone within a mile of it." And the three continue to speak, but what they are saying is sort of lost as the echo fades away.
Was there anything like written in the room at the time? Was it just like...
There are, so as you're kind of looking around, you see that some of the other tables in the room have like what look like geological samples, like bits of rock, bits of like mineral and soil, some like sort of glass, almost looks like chemistry equipment. A lot of the tables did have those similar like illusory magic, like runage sort of running past on them, but nothing that really like means anything significant. As you like quickly try to scan, some of the like the runage on the tables, it just appears to be a bunch of like mundane data about like mineral content in the rock in this area. It's nothing that like tells you any useful information.
They didn't label the plot again. Darn it. Yeah, that's disappointing to see. Like it's just mundanity, but hopefully everybody else can explain what they said, because I still can't understand. So what's going on with that creepy dog thing, Taylor? Fidget?
Did it fade? Did damage fade?
Yes, the echo is now gone. You are back in the abandoned...
That creature apparently came from deeper underground. It's not part of the... Well, it didn't seem to be part of the thing that they were studying, but it appeared to be attracted by some sort of device that they were using to study it. And it sounded...
It's the device they were using?
The Invarians, yeah. And there was some sort of warning about the device if it was damaged, doing something bad within a mile. Which, if I had to guess, something bad may have happened.
Can I make a DC 1 insight check to figure out if something bad happened to that time machine?
Sure.
Not 20.
You're not sure.
So if I like that one, that's like that doesn't sound right at all.
Quick look around the room. Other than the stone thingies, is there anything?
Nothing. At this point, anything beside like the essentially this like the skeletal bones of the structure itself has long disintegrated at time. But by any estimate, this ruin has been down here for almost potentially certainly over 1,500 years, probably longer.
Wait, the skeleton's still there?
No skeletons.
All right. And there's an observation.
Yeah, so you can this front the glass / crystal is long gone from this, but essentially you can look out here over the chamber.
Completely gone? Are there any shards remaining, or?
No, empty, just barren.
Okay. And those three
things are still down there. They have swiveled.
Are they
real creepily? So as you look out, you see that they are down there now, looking at you in your new position here.
Okay. How far away are they?
From there, probably 150 feet.
That's too far.
I throw my special javelin at them,
Mhm.
pull it back, and just throw it at them and pull it back.
You could.
Do we have
Pulling it back.
200 feet of rope?
You don't have a way to call it back to you. It doesn't come back on its own.
Well, does anyone need to be healed up before?
I'm a little roughed up.
Lightly around.
Are you feeling okay?
I'm at a 4.
I mean, that could be anything.
Your eyes are blinking. Does anybody need healing? You have a concussion, madam.
I mean, you're the one who stands in front of everything so that we don't have to.
Yeah,
so if
I
you're
want
not feeling
you to,
okay, we should do something about that.
Yeah.
By we, I mean you.
Group vote. Please heal yourself. With a
Brahm, if you want to save some lay on hands, Brahm can use another healing spell at this
Well,
point.
you also have a bunch
I
of
have-
spells
You say you have cure wounds.
So I'm gonna do 1 cure wounds at level 2. So, well, we see how it goes.
I mean, if you're at a 4th,
But you're down to a 4th of your.
let's
Yeah.
not be
Okay.
stingy here.
And you want to use your own spell slot / resources instead of using Brahm. Okay.
That's, that was max.
That was-
so
Yeah,
that's
she just rolled double eights.
16, 18
Okay.
healing. Heal.
And now you are.
Half.
Keep going.
Okay. Do. Yeah. Heal
Well,
yourself.
I'll do the other. The level 1. So that's just 1d8. That's
Nice.
so that's 10. Heal. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Back toward.
Should I throw a javelin and do some damage to one from up here?
You'd have to throw your special one, and
We'll be fine.
yeah, we'll.
Yep, we'll go down.
What happens if you miss and throw it into one of those holes?
We're probably.
It goes forever until it hits something.
It goes through time.
Well, I have a normal javelin.
Yeah,
At that
but the
range,
is
you'll. Yeah.
way too
We'll wait till we get closer. If we're lucky, they'll be close enough that we can take them at range.
Okay.
If we're not lucky, then we're gonna have to punch our way through.
Okay.
Heading back toward the other way, toward that other squared off chamber.
Now we're going to this one.
If only I could shoot the other blast
Okay.
a little bit further.
Same deal. You get over to that chamber as a little tiny, short, 5-foot hallway and a sealed door.
All right.
Turbo combo.
And I'm going to step back and hold an action if.
I got finger guns ready.
Finger guns are ready.
So it is a strength check.
I'll cast told it.
17.
If,
17, okay.
to attack.
The door opens, and you can see, a cone into the room.
Is
And
it
you no, it's
This one?
that one. You see a nice room to look at.
Oh.
We found a pre-drawn room.
No, I'm just giving you a. So this is easier for you guys to visualize.
Oh, it's a big room. I mean, in a way, it is a pre-drawn.
In a way. So this is not. Put that like that. But these are not. This is wall. So this is your space here. So you'll open that. You guys can kind of position yourselves as you would.
There's not a whole lot of hallways that we can position ourselves too great.
Right. So it's essentially like a waste. You guys are smart folks. You can figure out that that's not.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah.
What is that? What the hell? Oh.
There you go. Yeah, it's wall.
Therefore, when you really need to roll d6s.
And like.
Oh, they're not good at anything. Needs to die.
So that's that's doorway. That's also walls. I mean, that like that essentially. You guys can put yourselves where you want to put yourselves. That's what your options are.
That seems about
All right. So you can open the room. You can kind of see like, out towards the back here. There is, from where you are standing, there is the only thing that you can signally feature in this room is like a single. It almost looks like a podium that somebody would like give a speech at, like directly across towards the back of the room. They're like facing at you.
Before we go in, do you want me to light up the room?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast creepy green light in the middle of the room that I can see.
All right.
Could you have done a different color?
What's the
Also, maybe step back.
what's the radius on that?
It's the whole room plus like a little bit coming out in the front here.
Why do I want to step back?
So you're not in
So you don't take 40, 10 damage.
I'm standing back. Oh, I thought you meant normal light. I didn't know you meant that light.
I thought we meant dancing lights.
Yeah, I thought so too.
You thought.
How are we gonna turn it off?
It's a 30-foot radius.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
They're 30.
Yeah, I can push it back.
Okay.
I'll push it back a little more. So she doesn't have to like actually get out of the way.
So where's the boundary of this ending then?
Like
The entrance.
Okay.
So like it's basically like filling the room with this
Okay.
this sickening radiance light.
How are we gonna pick it back up?
It's dim. I can just dismiss it. It's a dim greenish light spreads in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range. The light spreads around corners of the glass until the spell ends. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time or starts a turn there, that creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage and suffers 1 level of exhaustion. And it also glows green in a 5-foot radius. So it can't be invisible.
Okay.
It's like turbo fairy fire.
Have you ever heard of overkill?
Roll initiative.
Hey.
What?
11.
14.
20.
15.
Still at the bottom.
I didn't strictly pick this spell to only use these dice on purpose, but
14, Walter?
You told. It's okay.
they match. What do you want?
Look, I'm not judging you for that. I'm judging you for
Judging
using
a
that spell because I thought it was overkill, but apparently it's not.
Oh no, we can see in there now. It's fine. I don't have dark vision.
I can't rush.
Justification. I don't have dark vision.
I can't rush in and do anything.
Good job.
They're gonna rush out or die. So
All you have to do is stand there. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
when they come out, hit him in the face.
But you're just gonna shove them back in there, aren't you?
Combo.
Give me the damage for that creepy green light, as some people have started their turn there.
6, 9, 4, and 4. So 10 plus 13 is 23.
Here's a fun question. Do you have to be able to see where the light is to continue concentrating on it?
Nope.
Alrighty. How much total? Sorry?
23.
23. And half on a success or nothing on a success?
I think it's half and no exhaustion.
I think your dogs shit themselves.
Somebody may have eaten a Brussels sprout earlier today.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't
Or was
me.
It Olive?
It was Olive. Yes, I had a
I was looking at their
Brussels
face. I
sprout.
was like, which one did it?
I had a Brussels sprout, and I'm gonna fart a lot tonight.
I'm so sorry.
Half or nothing on a save.
It doesn't say, so nothing.
Okay. Okay.
It's a DC 14 con.
Yep. I rolled it prior to initiative, so I already had all that. Which is fun. Because from, like, on either side of the doorway, as soon as you do that, it's like Night of the Living Dead. The horde just, like, rushes into the hallway. You see... one. They're very
It's
fast.
so fast.
5.
I'm glad you healed too.
They're all glad that you healed.
They all got hit.
Yeah.
Well, most of them made it. Some of them definitely got hit though. So the first one is going to attempt to attack Nula. So it's going to make 2 attacks. As these ones, they come around, look a little more
Little
beefier than the ones you had seen so far.
So they all fail?
They did not all fail.
Okay.
Some of them failed.
If I was at a level of exhaustion, I don't think the first level matters, but like eventually it will.
Okay. Does a 19 hit you? Okay, so one hit, one miss. You will take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. You are grappled, and it is going to use the rest of its movement to push you out of the doorway so that its friends can do this. So basically, the first one, like a linebacker, just like wails into Nula and like shoves her out of the way, and the rest of these things just come like clambering out the door.
Which ones are glowing green?
The ones that are glowing green are the skeleton, so that one,
Skelly boy?
and the executioner, so that one.
Okay.
Those two are glowing green. They failed. And let's see. So Nula already took her hit. Two of them. Where's everybody standing here?
So,
So
Ayla,
Fidget, Alar, and Brahm are also gonna get attacked.
Protection, fidget.
Okay.
Did this one already do all of its things?
Yeah. So the
two
way
of
this
them?
is gonna go is this
no,
one.
there's 3 of them.
Yeah, but this one already went.
Right. That's not the one attacking you. It's this one. The executioner is attacking
Okay,
you.
so one of them's attacking 2 different people.
No. So there's.
So executioner's attacking
Oh,
here.
I missed this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy's attacking you.
Yep,
This guy's
I
attacking
missed-
him, and
I
that guy's
missed
attacking him.
guy. Alright, we're good.
So against Fidget,
Protection.
you can protection, but it's not gonna matter because he hard misses.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he rolled a 1 and a 6.
Okay. Are you sure?
Well, is your AC a 10?
It's awfully close, but it's not.
Okay, so yeah, he misses. All right, against Alar. 1 miss and a 16 plus 4, so a 20.
That'll hit.
Okay, and then against Brahm, I think his AC is higher than 12.
I think it's 13.
It's 14, so he's okay. He gets hit once. So, Alar, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Uncanny dodge take half. And Brahm takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are both grappled.
Yay.
Okay. And that last guy can't do anything because he's too far behind his friends to make any further movements. That is their turn, and it is Alar's turn.
Gonna attack the one that's currently trying to throttle Nula.
Okay.
Blade. And a miss.
Alrighty. Chat says this episode has snowballed out of control.
We appreciate you, mysterious stranger.
Goodness. Alright, so what was that?
It was a clean miss.
Oh, okay.
2 plus.
Oh.
Yeah, it was an 8.
No, that will not hit.
Surprise, they're actually zombies.
And that brings us to Brahm, who is going to...
Do they appear to have any metal?
Unfortunately, they don't appear to have any metal. He is going to... he's going to bestow Curse on the frog guy in the very back there. So it's going to make a wisdom save, which it fails. And he's going to curse it against... he's going to give it disadvantage on... What was Creepy Green Light?
Con.
He's going to give it disadvantage on Con.
Great. So he's about to take a lunge.
Yes, he is. Frog. Con saves. Okay. So that is Brahm's turn. Yeah, that is Brahm's turn. And Fidget, you're up.
I'm going to bonus action disengage.
You sure?
Tell Lanula, please move. And then say, ice to meet you.
Okay.
Ray Frost.
Ray Frost on the axe guy.
This one.
Okay.
That's a 19.
19 will hit, for sure.
You tell me to move?
Yeah, I want to be where you are. 6 points of cold damage.
Okay. And, that's not the disadvantage one. That's the one you're doing.
Its movement is halved.
That's it.
Not likely to matter.
Sure. Okie dokie. Walter.
Alright, green for Frog, blue for Executioner. They're both getting Eldritch Blasted back into the...
Sure thing.
Well, it's an 8 to hit the Frog.
It's not hit the frog.
And then a 24.
Definitely does.
22 to hit the Executioner, and then he goes back 10 feet.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Roll the damage for him. And here's what I'm going to have happen. I'm going to roll a dex save for the frog, which he fails. 6 force. So, instead of going back 10, Executioner will go back 5 and essentially hit the frog, and the frog will go back the additional 5. So you basically, like, blast the first guy into the second one, and the second creature, like, is pushed backwards into the door, into the light.
Sure.
So that was 6 points on this guy, right?
So I got 6 points of force damage.
Okay. Alrighty.
And the frog
It's on
is
their
entering,
turn, right?
When
Enters
it
it.
enters for
Yes.
the first time each turn, and then when they start their turn.
Okay, so he's gonna get nailed twice.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That was the plan.
So go ahead and roll damage for him. Oh, he's got to just make the save, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's at disadvantage because of Brahm's curse. So he doesn't matter. He rolls 2 6s. So he's gonna fail.
10, 11, 12, 13, 16 points of
16.
radiant damage.
Okay.
And 11
See this thing
And,
like
and a level of exhaustion, yeah.
pushes. Okay.
So anybody that's glowing has a level of exhaustion.
So he's like pushed back in, and you see like it sort of sizzles as he passes into this beam of illumination in here. And that is your turn, I assume. Anything else?
The wall is right here. There's nowhere else I can go, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna prepare to keep. I guess I'm gonna yell. Push him in the middle. Push him back in the door.
Containment.
Working on it. Was Walter Nula? You are up. So you're currently grappled, which means you can't move at this point unless you use your action to break out of the grapple.
You told me to move though.
You do you.
Alright,
Fidget wants you to move.
Mhm.
You might not be able to. These things happen.
I'm going to attack, but use Thunderous Smite on one of these.
On the one on your... Okay,
The
yeah,
one I'm
the one in your range.
Yep.
Sure.
12
12 does not hit, no.
and another 12.
Thunderous Smite is not the same as Divine Smite, right? Like, you burned that spell slot. Okay. Even though you didn't hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So no, unfortunately, as it's like wrapping you up, you're not able to get a good solid like leverage with your hammer. And it is their turn. So at the top of the order,
Green guy.
yep, he'll take damage again. Oh, new roll. He gets a 19 and a 4, so his disadvantage makes him fail again.
22 points more of radiant damage, and
Okay.
another level of exhaustion. So he's now at 2 levels of exhaustion.
22. Okay. So
Nick starts giving him disadvantage. So a lot of stuff.
Gonna step up. This guy's gonna step up. This guy gonna step this way. This guy's gonna step this way. This guy's gonna step this way. There's a lot of shuffling happening here. This guy's gonna step this way.
Man, this is a crowded elevator.
Alright, so Walter is going to take an attack. Brom is going to take an attack. Alar is going to take 2. And Nulu will take 1. Alright, so we'll start with Walter. So 2 attacks against you is an 11 and a 23.
23 hits, the 11 does not.
Okay.
I need to roll with advantage to concentrate on the
You take
spell.
4 points of bludgeoning damage, so you need a 10.
15.
So, spell remains, you would take 4 points of bludgeoning and you are grappled. Brahm takes 2 attacks. 1 is a clean miss. 1 will hit him. He takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. Where are we at here? Nula, 2 attacks against you. 1 is a clean miss. The other one does crit.
Okay.
But what if it was something, or you want me to start rolling damage dice?
No, you're good.
Okay. Alrighty. Terrible and not as terrible, but still. You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. You're still grappled. Okay, and then Alar, you're going to get attacked by 2 different guys. The first one, hard miss and a 22. So 1 will hit. And the other one is going to be another... I assume your AC is higher than 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll get hit twice. So each of them miss you with 1 and hit you with the other. So the first hit, you are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
And the second hit, you will take 5 on that one. So you'll take 3 instead, or 2 instead. Alrighty, and you are grappled by both of these guys. As they're like, wrapping you up in arms. And that, I believe, is their full turn, yes. Right? All,
I have a terrible idea. You
all
have
5 of them attacked. Yes.
I'm open to suggestions.
It's like you can see his mouth from like a bunch of arms like grabbing him. Alrighty, and it is your turn, Alar.
Yeah, it's still close enough. I'm going to draw a knife and try and stab the one that's on Lula.
Okay.
14?
14 will hit, yes.
Okay. I will stab the knife into it and let it go and say, "From battle!"
He's, oh, I've been waiting for this.
6, 9, 12, 18 points of damage.
How many? 18?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. You plunge the dagger into it. Anything else? Well, you're pretty stuck, huh?
Yeah. I'm pretty stuck.
Brahm is probably okay for another round, so he will heat metal. Heats that metal. So that guy is going to take... D8. 9 points of fire damage. As the dagger begins to glow cherry red in its like rib cage where it's been stuck. So 9 points to this guy. One. Okay. And he's going to use his final bardic inspiration on Fidget. And he's going to go, oh, buddy! If ever there was a time for you to do some Goblin Wizard bullshit, this is it! This is it, buddy! So you have a D8 of bardic inspiration to use within the next minute.
Okay. This seems like a bardic inspiration.
Alrighty.
Possibly.
That is his turn as he's grappled. And Fidget is your turn.
Fidget would like to see if Nula moves. And it's gonna wait.
Okay, so you hold your action if Nula is able to clear herself, or hold your turn rather. You're delaying your turn.
I'm like, Nula, please.
Alrighty. You see, like the electricity is like charging up. He's like, "Come on!"
I can't say
And then he's like got his shawl and to build the electricity. He's just like, I'm almost ready. I'm almost charged.
Cannon. It is now canon that Fidget wears socks at all times. He's like, it's gonna be a big one, guys. God help everyone the first time we come into a carpeted dungeon.
Oh, shag rug.
We're gonna get a herd of sheep just to follow us for him to go like.
Oh, wait till Brahm gets the spell polymorph.
What do you mean you need a flock of sheep and 15,000 sheets of tin? I don't understand.
Scooter the Celestial Weasel constantly becomes polymorph bait so that Fidget can charge up electricity. Anyway, it is Walter's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna burn my inspiration. I'm going to basically point blank try to launch this guy into oblivion. I'm gonna hit him with both my things,
Okay.
but they are at disadvantage. At least the first beam should be.
So you're if I'm to understand the plan here, your intention is to try and like throw all 3 of them into the room.
So he's being grappled by this guy, right? By the skelly?
He's being grappled by the executioner and the frog.
So if I launch this guy, and this guy in, I imagine the executioner would go with him.
Potentially.
So I'm going to basically, point blank launch this guy.
Okay.
Bardic Inspiration, the first one.
Sure.
So whichever the lowest is, that's what I'm going to take. Advantage. Oh boy, the lowest was a 13 plus 3 plus 6.
Oh, that hits.
And then so he's going to go 10 feet, and then the second disadvantage is a 1 and a 4/7. 7. So the second one doesn't hit, but
Okay.
Everybody moves.
So you get 10 feet of... Well, not
Well, not
everybody.
everybody.
So here's what's going to happen.
This guy
So
goes 10
he's going... Alar, you can... If it was an enemy, they would be making a dex save. If you are, like... up on this, you can just, like, accept the incoming...
Accept your fate.
Domino. All right, so you can choose. You'll choose to fail yours. The guy behind will try and make his.
I will try to shove the guy behind me for whatever help I can.
Sure. How about we'll say you want to? I'll let you.
Frog has 2 levels of exhaustion.
So you can make a insight check if you'd like to at this point.
Insight is
Him specifically. And what I will say for you is I will, if you would like to, I will let you burn your reaction in order to inflict disadvantage on that guy for his save.
I choose
Okay.
to.
13.
13. You are definitely like scorching them with this light. You do not see them. They do not appear to be being affected by the like exhaustion effects of this. So you burn your reaction. You will give to essentially like throw your weight into this to give him disadvantage, which actually will cause him to fail where he wouldn't have otherwise. So he will. The only one who goes back into the room is that guy again. He just goes 5 feet. He goes 5 feet into the room, just in. Sort of the domino basically just knocks him a 5-foot step back.
So everybody's
There.
Pretty much.
Was he able to break the grapple on the executioner guy? Or?
No, because he didn't really move. He's still like kind of in his threat range.
Just like rotated.
Yeah, he just sort of like as he's holding on to him.
Alright, if he fails his con save,
She has disadvantage against. He rolls 2 17s. So he's going to succeed. Unfortunately.
That would have been 20, but
Ah.
it is 0 because
0.
it is a saber suck spell. It does a whole lot of other shit when it works.
Alright, so sadly he succeeds. Even with disadvantage from Brahm. Ooh, shit. I might have messed up. I did mess up. Heat metal's a concentration spell. Yeah. His heat metal dropped his curse. So that guy actually doesn't have disadvantage on the save. Shit. Well,
It didn't matter.
didn't matter. He would have
It
succeeded
was
anyway.
technically this turn, so that just that specific is the first time he would
Sure.
have had that.
So yes, unfortunately,
It's okay.
I don't play that character, so I screwed it up. I unfortunately dropped his concentration on curse, but
To
he
be
does
fair,
have heat metal running
he
now.
He would probably conjure heat metal instead, technically. So
If we asked ourselves WWBD, what would Brahm do? Heat metal is always the answer.
Yes, he would heat them now.
All right, Newland, it is your turn.
Just try to break the grapple.
Alrighty, roll a strength check. Yep.
15.
Easily. You got a 4.
So
you break free of the grapple. You are free to move
Reposition.
as you wish.
there.
Okay. All right. So no attack of opportunity as you didn't leave his threat. You just sort of circle around him and make an opening for Fidget. Anything else with your turn?
That was my action.
Okay.
Or
If
because
you have a bonus action, you can use one now.
no, because I have 2 attacks for 1 action. So
Okay. All right. So at the end of her turn, your delayed turn can take place.
Lightning bolt.
Alrighty.
Yeah, yes.
Boom.
Snow mercy. Snow.
All right. Three saves, right?
Yeah, Dex.
That is a 10, and a 4.
They all fail.
They all fail.
oh boy.
Lightning bolt is
Snow mercy.
Yes.
86.
Alrighty. This is axe guy, shield guy, and executioner, right? Okay.
7, 8, 11, 15, 21, 27, 30, and we're going to do Fury of the Small.
Okay. So 30.
Which means it's 37.
Okay, 37.
I
Executioner.
have dice just use.
Okay.
Combos are working. The spell combos are working.
And then axe guy. So Fidget, the one right in front of you, and the one, not the next guy, but that guy. The two of those are just like, it's like the end of Infinity War. The lightning bolt just goes through them, and they just like kind of turn into like particles that just float to the ground. The one in the middle is like and sort of like almost looks like stunned, as it's just like steaming smoke coming off of it, but that one is still on its feet. Okay, those two are dead. Alrighty, so it is their turn now. As the top of the order, he will make his save. Just normal save now. He real fails.
Come on, triple fours or triple tens.
That's that guy, right? He's
6, 8, 3, 10. 9 plus 8,
17.
27.
27 total?
Of radiant damage.
And he is microwaved into oblivion. You see that one just disintegrates. Okay, very cool. And who's left?
Skeleton guy and
Skeleton guy.
I believe skeleton guy is still glowing, but
Skeleton guy is glowing.
everybody
So
else.
that guy was attacking Alar?
I think
Shield guy was attacking it.
Okay, so Alar and Brahm will continue to get attacked, so they're not going to bother moving. So against Brahm, 2 clean misses, and against Alar, a 5, so a 9 and a crit.
Okay. Uncanny dodge.
Yeah. Alrighty, so it would have been 12 points, so you'll take 6 points of bludgeoning damage instead, and are still grappled.
Okay.
And because I'm a bad person.
Oh. Of course.
Everybody make a DC 14 con save.
Pushes you into the light. So Nula, you can make an attack of opportunity, I believe.
Okay.
And
I just make the save.
okay.
16 to hit.
That does hit, so you can hit him.
12 damage.
12 damage to that guy. Okay, so he like shoves you in. You're like, oh god, preparing to like have to struggle your way out. But sort of the first like push of resistance, the creature just like topples away from you, and as it falls, you see like the downswing of Nula's hammer finish as she just like your hammer swing just like shears off the entire back of this creature, just like sloughing off all of this carbon material from the back of it, and it falls dead to the ground.
It's just like solid graphite.
Seems to
in the
be,
middle.
yeah. That was this guy. Okay. Last one is still standing. He misses Brahm twice with his attacks there, and it is Alar's turn. You gotta make that save again.
This time I come up short.
Uh-oh. Alright,
So,
go ahead and roll
roll
damage
damage.
for that.
But what if you had a 19?
Hey!
I appreciate that.
I don't want you to be exhausted.
I mean,
Thank
the
you for
exhaustion
that.
levels, technically, not that you would know as characters, as characters, but like the exhaustion levels do go away once I dismiss the spell.
So I will run up and stab the one that's grappling.
Alright, he rolled a hit.
14.
Yes, 14 will
Cast
hit.
Booming blade.
Not that you have to have this for flavor, but I imagine like when you change somebody's save to go from a failure to a success, like part of your like threads just like burn up in place of it or something like that.
Yeah, like there's constantly just like loose ends. Like he's adding stuff to one end, and it's just like
Yeah, 16 and 16 points of
getting
piercing
warm
damage,
and
5
frayed
points of
on the
thunder
other
damage.
side.
So it's like success and failure, or just constant flux.
Oh god.
Fate.
So 21 altogether.
Okay. Okay. Still on its feet. You cut. It has like a kind of a double head. You basically like rapier into the head and then like pull out, and you just like take half of its double head off. but it's still you're just like staring into like the flat sheared off side of this thing's head as it continues to like maw all over Brahm. And it is Brahm's turn, and Brahm just goes, "Oh, gross!" and he's gonna just punch it. He just unarmed strikes with a 19, dealing 1 point of bludgeoning damage as he punches his fist through its chest, and it falls limp. And he goes, "Oh, that was worse!" Oh, pulls it back out, and it falls to the ground dead. And he's like, "Oh God! Oh, that was a real mistake. Oh shit!" And he like grips his head as you guys feel like it begins again. The echo is coming, and again, I need you guys to make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
God.
Can I dismiss
Brahm
my
fails.
spell before?
Nat 20.
See.
Cool.
Nat 20, buddy.
Nat 1 again.
Okay. What was yours, Ayla?
19. So
Okay.
3.
Okay.
And then I can maintain the spell.
Okay.
I'm going to choose to dismiss it, but
Alrighty. So Brahm and Walter fail. You guys take 12 points of psychic damage.
Are you down?
I will very much accept a short rest in this nice safe room we just cleared out.
As will I. I'm
After the visions fade.
down to 1/3.
The Brahm's at 5.
I'm good to go, guys.
The visions begin. The dank, old, decrepit, dusty, abandoned chamber is replaced by sparkly, new, used for sure, not brand new as your first vision. You're starting to get a little bit of a sense of like, as you kind of look at the sort of the wear and tear and the scuffs on the walls in this chamber, you're starting to get a sense that like these various echoes are not necessarily happening in like chronological order. Whereas your first vision was definitely, the earliest, you think. It's a little harder to gauge of the last three that you'd seen, where exactly these fall in line with each other. Do you find yourself in what is essentially looks to be like, you'd almost call it like a staff meeting. It looks like most of the occupants of the research station are in this room. An individual that you recognize, Alar, from your first vision as the head researcher here, Vantis Wintermoon, is standing behind that podium that you had noticed in the room before. And there are mostly elven researchers seated in like chairs within this room. As you look around, you actually do see that there are a couple of humans, and right near the door, kind of where you're standing, flanking, a pair of orcs.
Holy crap.
The orcs are wearing, unlike the researchers with their finery and their robes, the orcs are wearing rough spun garments, and each have a band of metal around their neck as they stand in the back of the chamber. Ladies and gentlemen, it's high time we discuss the news that has begun to reach us here in our little bubble of research and discovery, says Vantis Wintermoon. By all accounts, it seems the rumors are true. Nearly a month and a half past, the dread worm Silarax, the black dragon believed to have been slain by our glorious High Empyrean Silverleaf, has returned. The chamber erupts in a series of murmurs and concerned in-talking before Wintermoon holds up his hands for silence. He says, aided by a small army of lesser beings, the black dragon descended on High Invarian and razed the city to the ground. It is early yet, but It is believed that High Invarian Nossum Silverleaf is dead. Again, it takes him longer this time to return the chamber to quiet as a sort of collective gasp and even louder murmuring begins through the chamber. You see one individual, an elven man, sort of towards the back, like, bursts out like, "Oh no!" Once he has quelled everybody, at least enough to continue speaking, he says, "This is a terrible tragedy, and it certainly throws the future into a state of uncertainty. But there are a few things which are beyond doubt. First, the glory of the Invarian Empire, though undoubtedly shaken, is strong enough to endure this. The Empire's nose may be bloodied, but it will assuredly rise stronger than ever." He delivers this impassioned speech, and there's a few kind of like nods and sounds of assent from the gathered elves. And Alar, from directly next to you, you hear the deep, rough voice of one of the orcs as he takes a half step forward. You can kind of see as you're looking right next to him, his face is neutral, but as he starts speaking, there is like a bite to his tone, a rebelliousness in his voice. And he says, in the same Invarian as the elves are speaking, he says,
"And what of the news that the Udyar dwarves revolted as soon as they heard the Invarian was dead? Rumor is things are dicey up there, too."
Wintermoon looks towards this orc. His lip curls slightly, and he makes a gesture with one hand in the orc's direction, and the collar around the orc's neck seems to send a jolt through his body. Grunts and kind of stumbles back against the wall before, with clenched teeth, like falling to a knee. And Silvermoon says, "Do not interrupt your betters. In any event, a few dwarves throwing a tantrum is of no concern of ours, and not even worth worrying ourselves over. As I was saying, in the end, the best thing to do is to focus on our work. When things return to normalcy within the Empire, we can help heal the wounds suffered by bringing them to light whatever wondrous secrets there are waiting to be unlocked in the vessel just outside this chamber. Now, take the rest of the day, collect yourselves. Tomorrow we return to work." And the chamber, the elves begin to rise to their feet, start filtering out, and the echo fades. When you guys come back to, you see you're again standing in the dimly lit ruins of the chamber. You look over, Brahm has like sagged down against the wall. His nose is like heavily bleeding. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "I don't know how many more of those I can do."
Alright. We're gonna secure ourselves here. We need to rest. We're all pretty beat up. That was the fall of Invaria. They just got the news and the dragon attacked. And the dwarves were in revolt. 2 orcs, slaves. Some sort of that collar thing.
Brahm goes, "They got newer models nowadays."
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Alright. There's just a dusty podium and that's it.
Empty, yep.
Alright. Everybody pile in. We'll
Spend more than that.
Alright, so you guys are going to pile in there and kind of like pull
Yep.
the door shut behind you.
Yep.
And attempt to take a short rest.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty.
Or do we want to take full rest?
You could try.
I'd say
You don't.
short.
Okay.
Alright, Brahm will play Song of Rest to give you guys an additional... Let's see. Where's his features?
Does that deny him his rest?
No.
Okay.
It does not. You guys will get an extra d6 in addition to any hit die that you used to spend.
5 hit die because I'm in dire straits.
Have you guys taken a short rest since your last long rest at this point?
Some of us have.
Yeah, I was not able to. Me and
I don't know.
Alar were not able to because we were.
So Braum has. I don't know how many hit die he's got left.
I think he only used maybe 2 or 3 at most.
I don't think I used any of mine.
I did not. I just did the arcane recovery.
What bards are a D8?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna use. So we'll say he used 3. He's gonna use his remaining 4 then.
8 and 8.
Plus a D6.
Okay.
Does Constitution or anything get added to those, or is it
It's your hit die plus your Constitution.
Oh, okay. That's right. That gets me back to full. Alright.
Con modifier 2. Okay.
Can you add your Constitution modifier to all of those?
10.
Isn't it plus 2?
Alright, so
Adding it as you go?
Braum is out of hit dice, but he's looking much better.
30.
Did you do your d6 from Song of Healing?
No.
Song of Breath?
No.
Alright, so do that one and see if you do. You don't. Yeah.
Alrighty. So you guys spend about an hour kind of recuperating, stitch up some of your injuries, catch your breath.
I'm furiously scribbling notes.
Sure. And at this point, I think let's go ahead and take our break for the night. I think that's a good place to, as the party catches their breath, we too will catch our breath. So if you have been with us tonight thus far for this cold pun-filled episode of Tabletop Legends, I appreciate you sticking with us thus far. We're going to take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for the remainder of tonight's episode as the Fools Errant continue to delve deep into this Invarian research station to figure out just exactly what the hell happened here. So thank you for sticking with us. We will see you in just a couple of minutes, and enjoy this word from our sponsors. Hey there, everyone. Matt Palmieri here, your host and Dungeon Master. Thank you for joining us for tonight's episode of Tabletop Legends. I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. I know I am. While myself and the rest of the gang are refilling our drinks, stretching our legs, and relieving ourselves of the pee that we've been holding in for the last 2 hours, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about our sponsors here at Proficiency Bonus. First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp are purveyors of fine gaming dice, as well as all sorts of other tabletop gaming goodies. They've got a huge selection of polyhedral dice you can choose from, and prices that you couldn't shake a stick at even if you had a +1 stick of shaking at your disposal. They recently released their line of Birthstone dice. They have new metal dice sets available, and they are constantly coming out with new products. If, unlike Becca, who we have to physically restrain from buying dice on stream once a week during our ad read, D&D dice are not your thing, they have definitely got some other cool stuff you can get your hands on. They've got spell cards, they've got gaming accessories, they have a whole bunch of other tabletop style games that you can order right to your door. If you want to check them out, you can type !Little Dragon into the Twitch chat at any time for a quick link to their store. Or just go to your favorite web browsing apparatus and you can go to www.littledragoncorp.com. And remember, if you do purchase anything, tell them we sent you. You can use the code BONUS at checkout for 10% off your order. If you'd like to buy, 11 sets of dice, it would be like one of them would be free. That's probably not how math works, but, I just don't think about it too hard. And, go check them out. LittleDragonCorp.com for all of your sweet dicey needs. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Marble Moon Studio in the 8th House. They are an independently owned, ethically sourced, witchy lifestyle and home goods shop. Their goal is to support small businesses and create a safe, inclusive space/community for witchy folks. They've got just a ton of super cool merchandise that you can order online, including the widely popular Tabletop Legends Magic AF D20 mug. But hey, it's just not all mugs over there. It's not just like they're not an entire store filled with mugs. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with stores filled with mugs. If you're a mug store, I mean, that's a great business plan and good for you. And call me. We'll set up a sponsorship. But Marble Moon Studio in the 8th house, well, they've got way more than that. They've got all sorts of things. They've got wall art. They've got candles. They've got apparel. I mean, you don't need to listen to me just like list off a bunch of random products off of their site. You can take a look at the sweet montage that I'm probably going to edit into the background of this audio. Or I mean, better yet, just go to their website. You can look for yourself and not have me read it to you like an idiot. You can find them online at either marblemoonstudio.com or shopthe8thhouse.com. I've met both of the ladies who run this business in person. They're awesome. They're awesome people. You need to go buy things from them right now. Thank you, Marble Moon Studio in the 8th house, for supporting us and our silly Dungeons & Dragons mess around. We love you, and, hit me up about a cut of that sweet mug money. Hey, if you'd like to sponsor an episode of Tabletop Legends, maybe you want to give a shout out to your website, your business, or a podcast of your very own, you can do that. Send an email to tabletoplegendsdnd@gmail.com. That's tabletoplegendsd, the letter N, D, @gmail.com. And, it doesn't just have to be a business. Maybe you want to promote, I don't know, maybe you just, you're really good at kickflips, and you want people to know that. You can do that. Maybe you have a friend, and your friend watches the show, and you want to hear me call him a dude-headed fart baby over the internet. We can do that. Send me an email. We'll work something out. Maybe you've been working up the courage to ask out the girl you like, and you just can't bring yourself to do it. Why not pay a podcast host to do it for you? I don't see how it couldn't work. Send us a message at tabletoplegendsdnd@gmail.com, and all of your dreams can come true, no matter how ridiculous they are. Well, anyway, that's all I've got from you. I have talked long enough. Please enjoy the ear candy, sweet sounds of our royalty-free background music for another few minutes or so until we return for the rest of our episode. Thank you. I love you. I didn't mean to say it, but there it is. Now it's out there. We have to deal with this now. But we'll deal with it after the rest of the show. Hey there, everyone. Matt Palmieri here, your host and Dungeon Master. Thank you for joining us for tonight's episode of Tabletop Legends. I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. I know I am. While myself and the rest of the gang are refilling our drinks, stretching our legs, and relieving ourselves of the pee that we've been holding in for the last 2 hours, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about our sponsors here at Proficiency Bonus. First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp are purveyors of fine gaming dice, as well as all sorts of other tabletop gaming goodies. They've got a huge selection of polyhedral dice you can choose from, and prices that you couldn't shake a stick at even if you had a +1 stick of shaking at your disposal. They recently released their line of Birthstone dice. They have new metal dice sets available, and they are constantly coming out with new products. If, unlike Becca, who we have to physically restrain from buying dice on stream once a week during our ad read, D&D dice are not your thing, they have definitely got some other cool stuff you can get your hands on. They've got spell cards, they've got gaming accessories, they have a whole bunch of other tabletop style games that you can order right to your door. If you want to check them out, you can type !Little Dragon into the Twitch chat at any time for a quick link to their store. Or just go to your favorite web browsing apparatus, and you can go to www.littledragoncorp.com. And remember, if you do purchase anything, tell them we sent you. You can use the code BONUS at checkout for 10% off your order. If you'd like to buy, 11 sets of dice, it would be like one of them would be free. That's probably not how math works, but, I just don't think about it too hard. And, go check them out. littledragoncorp.com for all of your sweet, sweet dicey needs. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Marble Moon Studio in the 8th house. They are an independently owned, ethically sourced, witchy lifestyle and home goods shop. Their goal is to support small businesses and create a safe, inclusive space / community for witchy folks. They've got just a ton of super cool merchandise that you can order online, including the widely popular Tabletop Legends Magic AF D20 mug. But hey, you know, it's just not all mugs over there. It's not just like, they're not an entire store filled with mugs. Now, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with stores filled with mugs. If you're a mug store, I mean, that's a great business plan and good for you. And, you know, call me. We'll set up a sponsorship. But Marble Moon Studio in the 8th house, well, they've got way more than that. They've got all sorts of things. They've got wall art. They've got candles. They've got apparel. I mean, you don't need to listen to me just like list off a bunch of random products off of their site. You could take a look at the sweet montage that I'm probably going to edit into the background of this audio. Or, I mean, better yet, just go to their website. You can look for yourself and not have me read it to you like an idiot. You can find them online at either marblemoonstudio.com or shopthe8thhouse.com. Hello, welcome back. We have taken our break, we have refilled our drinks and emptied our bladders, and here we are to continue the remainder of tonight's episode of Tabletop Legends. When we left off, you guys had just taken a short rest for about an hour, sealing yourself inside what had once been the, essentially like the staff room, the meeting room of this Invarian research facility, in order to catch your breath, stitch up some of your injuries, and prepare yourself for the remainder of your journey. As you get deeper and deeper into this facility, you've started to find that these what you can now assume are some sort of time monsters seem to be getting more powerful as do the waves of pressure on your brain meats every time you trigger one of these echoes. So I turn it back over to you guys, as you are now inside this chamber here, having cleared basically this portion of this floor. You have, this leads down this way. This will grant you access to the bottom floor here, where there are at least 3 of these creatures here that are aware of your presence. But have thus, or at least up until the point you went into that room, had thus far done nothing.
Alright, I got an idea. There's a chance I might be able to fool them, get them in closer. We get them in closer, you can zap them. If you've got another lightning bolt, you can zap them. We can take them at the range. At the very least. Okay. Because we saw that Brahm was able to fool one of them with the illusion of door. If that is an access down, maybe I can fool them with the illusion of one of us climbing down.
Sounds good.
So let me just double check something. Is concentration?
Which one?
Invisibility.
I believe it is
Invisibility is a concentration.
Shoot. I can't concentrate on 2 spells at once. But does Brahm have silent image?
No.
Damn.
Just minor illusion.
Okay.
But Fidget has invisibility.
Alright, can you cast that on me?
You're invisible.
Thank you. I'm going to head out. And
Okay.
Fidget will cast the invisibility.
Okay.
Alright, so I get back out here. Are they still where they were? No.
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to step back into the room.
He stepped back into the room.
They aren't there anymore. Stay here.
He said they're not there anymore, that we should stay here.
Yeah, we heard that part.
Oh.
And I'm going to stealthily move toward here.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
With advantage, that is a... It's a lot. It is a whole whopping 25.
Okay.
Fidget is just gonna peek into the hallway and try to keep an eye on him. So I can
Okay.
see where he is.
So you can kind of follow him. If you're not leaving the chamber, you can follow him as far as like where he goes around this curve, and then you're gonna lose sight of him unless you continue to move out.
So like when I lose sight of him, I'm gonna wait like 30 seconds
Mhm.
and then peek around the corner. Like just let him be.
Okay. Sure. So, Alar invisibly zips around this corner.
Mhm.
Fidget, you start your count, and as that's happening, Alar, you reach kind of here, and you see basically set into the wall here is just as it's been everywhere else. There was like an elevation change. It is a just like a hatch in the floor that you know assume leads to like a shaft that will bring you down to that level.
Hatch is closed.
Closed, yes.
Alright. Well, since that hatch is closed, I'm gonna keep moving along to this.
You kind of tippy-toe your way down, and you find another hatch at the very end inside after you like pass, kind of go down this hallway, you enter into a room. It has another sort of like similar kind of little overlook window here, and there is another hatch there that would presumably lead down.
Also closed.
Also closed.
Gonna head back. There's still no sign of them out.
You do not see them as you are
Okay.
making your way. Make another stealth check on your way back.
Again, 25.
Okay.
I get back over here and probably almost trip over Fidget.
Hi.
Never mind. Let's head back. Okay. So I can't see them. There are
Well,
two.
they're invisible.
Let's hope
If
not.
they were, I could see them.
If they were in sight. So there are two hatches down. One's close by, the other one's all the way at the end of that corridor. They could be waiting underneath. They could be in one of those chasms. They could be having a fancy tea party. I don't know.
I like tea.
Well, let's hope they're having a fancy tea party, because after we meet them, we can have their tea.
Or maybe they'll invite us to their tea party.
I don't think they'll invite us to tea. They're Invarians.
How far down is it from this level to the
From-
is it 50 feet?
From
This level. to
from
this level?
from here is 50 feet to the floor. This is like sloping down as it goes. So like from here to the floor is about 30, and then like all the way here you're talking about maybe like 25-ish, but this like piece of stone wall is sort of slanted, so you could almost like skid down.
Alright.
We could jump.
How
That'll make less noise.
Screams of agony are a little noisy.
Yeah. Let's crack open the further hatch. We can attach a rope to the hatch itself.
And then we jump.
No, Fidget. No jumping.
Wait.
Fidget, if you jump, Nula will not heal you.
What? I never said that. I didn't agree to that. I can heal you.
Don't encourage the goblin.
If he listen, if he doesn't take his lumps, he's never gonna learn.
This one gets it.
Alright. Alright. We're gonna head back toward the further hatch.
Okay. Stealth checks for everybody. If you're being stealthy,
Sure, I'll be stealthy.
your advantage since you're still invisible.
Don't even have to roll.
20. Well, at the very least, hopefully they can't see me.
I was going to say, do you want to get me in there so I can make the disc again so you don't have to worry about it? And we already went and rolled. Let's see what happens here.
18.
Okay.
No, well, I didn't.
Do you two just run into each other?
I feel like I'm like loudly asking if she wants me to do the disc instead.
That's my job.
I can't see Alar. I just like full on run into. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. Cause
He's
you
right
know,
there.
well, I mean, I found him.
You
like,
just
right
feel a
away.
hand pat you on the head. It's okay, Nula.
So you got a 2.
It's okay.
So, Nula, as you bump into Alar, as you guys are kind of walking down this sort of windowed corridor, you feel the hand of Alar pat you kind of on the head. And then you feel another hand pat you sort of on the thigh, which is real confusing for a moment, until all of you guys realize that as you're like walking down this thing, those creatures basically like come up over the
That one's not able.
Over here?
no, I'll show you.
Okay.
David probably walked up like this section.
Or they climbed it.
That we said we could like slide down if we wanted to.
You guys are basically moving like this, right? Down this section towards where that other chamber is there. And you know that roughly over here is the sort of the way down. So as you guys are, I don't know what marching order you're looking in.
Aloy first. Fidget a second if people let him.
That puts him in indirect view of most
Well,
of the party.
theoretically, Fidget's
Yeah.
be third because she bumped it in.
Yeah.
Who's fighting?
Probably,
who's
like-
fighting for last.
Realistically, probably will be last.
Okay.
He's tired of getting hit.
Yeah. Surprised they came up from the back.
So basically, sorry, Olive. It looks like
That's what Nula just did.
yeah. It essentially looks like so you're walking through this hallway and there's like kind of the lip and then like the window opening, which are empty from glass. It looks like what they did, as you learn in a very panicked moment of realization. It looks like they climbed straight up the wall and were hanging like Assassin's Creed style, hanging like below the window. And as you guys like come past, the three of them just like launch themselves up, and you find yourself besieged by these things, which are spring up and attempt to grab you. So let's roll initiative as they after you. They're gonna get their surprise round as they were hiding out of sight from you.
The paladin's lecturing Alar and like, don't touch her. It's not polite to touch someone's thigh.
What are you? Oh crap!
What? All right, 25 to 20.
21.
21. Elar. 19 to 15.
17.
17, 18. Fidget. Nula. Walter? 7. Brahm gets a 19, 20, 21, 22. Brahm goes
I know
first.
How it feels.
So in the surprise round, however, so we established Nula, also Walter, also Brahm. Alright, so Brahm first. Okay, that's going to be a clean miss on Brahm. Walter second. One is a clean miss, the other is a 19.
14.
Yes, okay, and then Nula. The higher of the two is a 17, which I don't think it's you. Okay. So Walter is the only one who is hit. Walter, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage and are dragged out the window. speed after grappling you to just yoink, and you both fall. You are falling.
To be fair, that is literally what I was going to do to it. So if it just grappled me, I was going to like just
Yeet yourself out the window.
yup.
Okay.
What's the verb from jumping out a window?
Defenestrate.
You've been defenestrated.
Fenestrating my pants right now.
Okay. The other two are not able to find purchase on you guys, and they are now going to use their movement speed, having missed, to like spiders. You see them like as you look over. They're just like clambering straight down the cliff wall back towards the ground.
Do
30.
I then attack? Go
No, because you got surprised, so you can't take reactions. So they go 30 feet straight down, back to ground level where you are currently falling. I don't know if you take this damage now or on your turn.
Presumably, when we make the fall, it's just going to happen.
So it'll be on. Oh, I'll roll it now. And you can.
Can I use my big dice?
I don't know. Can you?
You need to play.
Alrighty.
Here's some serious business. Big dice damage.
I'm about to start spamming. I need healing.
So when you hit the ground, you're gonna take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. As is it. Okay, I'll mark him for 14. Alrighty. And that is the end of the surprise round, which brings us to Brahm, who I don't think can do anything to help you. Yeah.
Can he
Start
vicious
down.
mockery that thing?
He can. I'm trying to see if he has anything like more useful. Yeah, he also have vision mockery. He just like leans up. He goes, "That was a real bitch move." He'll vicious mockery the one that's falling.
You can't like have a nice trip. See you next fall.
No, I don't do puns. That's beneath me.
So,
It does make it save though, so it's not gonna take any damage. All right, Alar, it's your turn. So there are 3 of these things currently like 30 plus feet from you, and one of them has dragged. One of them has just like thunked into the ground 30 feet below with Walter.
Okay. So the one that fell, wisdom save.
Okay. Rolls a 19.
Nothing happens. Damn it. And okay, time to do something stupid. I'm going to use my bonus action to climb out the window and
Whee!
try and
Alrighty.
I told you
Slide
we were
down.
gonna jump.
as I leap out the window, the last thing you see is
Are you moving down here to slide, or are you straight up like jumping like where he went?
I'm straight up down.
Okay.
it is not my turn, so I can't say anything yet. But there's something I was going to say as I was falling to my knees.
So you like whoa. When you hit the ground, you will take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As you like heavily like whoa, kind of buckle your knees and roll to decrease the impact. Luckily for you, Walter, a lot of your impact was cushioned by the fact that you basically landed on it, as it just went like this. And that brings us to Fidget.
Fidget's gonna head as far down this way as he can.
Yep.
And still jump out.
Okay.
What was we here?
All right.
There.
Yeah, so that'll get you to like, basically like, can get out the window, and then you're like, at the top of the like, rock slide down.
To begin, like bonus action dash, and then use normal movement to get down.
Sure.
Okay, and then we're gonna Ray of Frost.
Okay, which one?
The one that is closest to me.
Okay.
yeah, I'm down there.
Crit.
Nice.
So what's our con?
You get-
All right, everyone.
It's a double.
Welcome to my winter punderland.
Yeah!
Acceptable.
No.
19 points of damage.
19 points of cold damage. Unacceptable!
Thank you.
Alrighty, and cool. Okay. Next
Yes,
up.
Very cool.
Yeah. Cool. Nula.
I am going to jump out the window and slide down.
Okay. So you can pretty much... You're going to have to use your dash to get, like, down to the ground.
Okay.
You can get there.
Yeah, well, you're going to be sort of more where Fidget is, rather than, like, near that guy. Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh,
You have to come down this way.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was a
I
window.
decided to just.
Leap.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's about 25-30 to get to, like, the part you can slide, and then you can, like,
Alright.
use your next 30 to, like, clamber down.
You
Okay.
seem distressed.
Leap on.
Say just stay up top and start doing range stuff. And that's gonna
stuff. He's like, I could have missed these stuff back up there.
Yeah. It's a little bit that and a little bit. I was gonna use both my spell slots right away and then be like lighten up their life again.
So this is
There's
they
nothing
call.
stopping you from putting it back up.
This is a little poor for the scale. This should be further away, but this is the hole. This is the rubble thing.
Okay.
Sounds great. So Nula, as you like hit the ground, you guys hear from up beneath that hole, and a very familiar bone white, massive, muscular, clawed front leg slams into the stone on the ground, and Dog Monster pulls itself back up to your guys' level.
Okay.
And it, much as it had done before, goes disappears, reappears much closer, and then faster than you would even believe imaginable, sprints directly at Walter and this thing that has pinned him. Getting right up to you. And with a 22 hits, does 9 points of bludgeoning damage to the creature holding Walter.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Deadly silent, it and just slams its forepaw onto this thing's like split, fractured head. Walter, it basically like your head is on the ground with it behind you. This thing's claw goes, and you're like, so 9 points of damage to him.
Okay.
And that is its turn. And it is the creature's turns.
I did not.
You're next.
Okay. I am next.
You are next. Because you're last.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, they had the surprise.
Yeah, they had a surprise round. So this is their first turn. That one is going to run over towards Alar and take 2 attacks at him.
This one?
No, the one that's like close to you.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
right on me. I misjudged my aim. I was trying
Ooh.
to jump for him.
He misses terribly.
Okay.
So he's going to miss 2. The one that's already holding you, Alar, is going to continue to pummel you. Or Walter, rather.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I literally have their sticky notes. You can't see it, but it's on the back of my DM screen. I have sticky notes and it says Walter with an arrow like this, and then it says Alar with this arrow, and then it says Fidget with an arrow over here. So against Alar, the lower of the 2 is only a 12.
Awesome. Thanks for taking my damage for me.
No trouble.
Who am I attacking?
Walter.
Oh, I'm attacking Walter now. Sorry.
You just explained.
I forgot who I was attacking.
No, it's fine. 'Cause I have AC 14.
So the second attack will hit you though. I forgot I was already done with Alar's turn. You are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And you remain grappled. The remaining creature will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get up to Alar. Take 2 attacks against him. One is a clean miss. The other is a 15.
That'll hit.
Okay, so he will hit you for... would have been 8. If you evade, you will take... Uncanny Dodge, you will take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled by that creature.
Okay.
Alrighty, and Walter, it is now your turn. So you are grappled by this creature, and you basically are looking up into this skeletal visage of this dog-like creature whose hollow eyes are just sort of boring down in your guys' direction.
What if I wasn't?
But what if you weren't? Poof! You
Misty
disappear.
step away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
All right.
And I'm going to dash.
Okay. All right. You just
90
run.
feet from where I was.
No.
There's like a circle of mystery here, and
Yep.
a line, and then follow it this way.
All right. So the peace streak is. Alrighty. Brahm is up. Brahm is gonna move down a little bit to kind of get above sort of where all the action is there.
Okay,
30 gets him there. Okay.
25.
25. That's fine. He's gonna use. He shouldn't do that at this point. He will use Vicious Mockery. You can just see Brahm's head comes out from this window, and he just goes, "Hey, you! Yeah, fuck you!" To no effect, unfortunately. Damn it! I gotta get a crossbow.
I swore you were about to say you need to just go get a book. Better insults.
I'm trying to play to the way that Russell does his vicious mockeries, which are all shitty.
You're doing a great / terrible job.
Listen, if he puts more effort into his bardic inspirations and vicious mockeries, I will too when I play his character. Alrighty, and it is Alar's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna stab at Axe Guy.
Axe Guy.
I think that's the one that's grappling me.
Yes.
Okay, cast Booming Blade. 13.
13 does hit.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Okay. 9 points of piercing, 1 point of thunder damage,
Okie dokie.
and I spit in his face. I got nothing.
Okay.
So you've already used your action spitting
His
his face.
material, whatever his material makes him up is slightly dampened. Okay. Fidget.
Bonus action dash to there-ish.
Okay.
This will be fine. Nothing bad can happen to you at a pit.
Nah, you'll be alright.
Lightning bolt these guys.
Sure.
Brahm's suspiciously in that line, but he's
No, he's way up.
way up.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm picturing him saying, "Oh God, he's doing the thing!" and then he dives.
The lower of the two is a 15.
15 does save.
Okay, so they will both save. They'll take half damage.
It's 34, so they'll take 17.
Woo! Alright, let's see. And that is those two guys. So 24 and 17. And the other one is this one.
Hey, look, let them fight.
Alrighty. Okay, so they both are zapped. They are both still on their feet, however. And they are currently steaming the Alar, the smell of like cooked whatever they're made out of is not great.
Ugh, you smell like feet wrapped in brown leathery bacon.
That is their turn. Or it's Fidget's turn. Could be.
Yes!
And Nula, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to go here
Okay.
and punch that one.
Alrighty,
My
roll
mirror.
to hit.
Nat 20.
Oh, snap.
That's 6 damage.
Okay.
You
Roll again.
roll twice.
Plus
11.
5. And then my second attack. That's 20, not natural.
Sure.
And that's 6.
Okay.
And 6, 17 points. You did? Oh, you had 17
No,
points.
it was.
Yeah, it was 11 plus 6.
Plus 6.
So
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Whang! You hit him with your hammer.
That is cool. This
It was 6. I don't know. No, we're good.
2
Alrighty.
plus 4 plus 2 plus 4.
Alright, Dog Monster's turn. Continues to pummel that thing. 4. Oh, no. Unsuccessfully hit this time. And it is going to... disappear and reappear. Here.
holy crap! Do I have a flanking buddy?
The enemy of your enemy is your ally?
I'll take it.
Who is your flanking buddy?
Now I have 2 flanking.
I should have faced him. He is still technically he's still focused on that guy.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm not sure what if he just has to be standing there or if he has to actually be engaged with that guy.
Technically, he has to be engaged. So
Okay, so I don't think at this point he's not flanking with you yet. That's all it does. It is their turn, so that guy will get up. It is going to. It straight up ignores the dog monster, as if it's not even there, as if it didn't just get part of its head crushed, and it just runs at Fidget.
Okay, so probably here.
30 foot gets him right to Fidget. Yep. And he's gonna make 2 attacks against Fidget. One of them is a 9.
Nope.
The other is 11 plus stuff.
11 plus stuff is good enough.
Yep. So he will hit you once. You will take 9 points of bludgeoning damage and are grappled.
Uh-huh.
But that's all he does. The other 2, I think... I can't see past Dog Monster, but I think they're positioned for like 1 against Nula and
Yep.
1 against Alar. Okay. So-
the axe monster has me grappled
Yep.
already.
Alright, he'll attack you, and Nula can reaction to disadvantage. So his first attack at disadvantage will miss. His second attack at disadvantage will also miss.
Why are they
No, only one's a disadvantage,
Yeah.
right? Let me reroll the second attack. So the second attack, not a disadvantage, will hit.
Okay.
And then I'll roll damage for that in a second. Let me see if Nula gets hit. So his, no, clean misses on Nula. So you will get hit once, Alar, for 7 points of bludgeoning.
Uncanny dodge.
Yep. So he'll take 3, and he continues to grapple you. And that is all that the 3 of them do with their turn. And Walter, you up.
I'm gonna blast the ones grappling him.
Okay.
Try to go that way.
Alrighty.
Yeah, 16 and 17 plus 6.
Both hit.
Alright. Where's my 10? Double 7s.
Okay.
So 14 points of force damage, and it goes 20 feet that way.
So it, Fidget, it, like, this thing, like, glomps onto you, and, like, all you can see is just, like, this thing filling your vision as it's, like, and then the next moment, there's, like, this, what color is your Eldritch Blast?
I haven't.
Okay.
There's
There's, like, an Avada Kedavra style, like, flash of green, and then, like, it's just gone. And you like, as you turn, you look 20 feet that way. There is just like a smoldering heap of a corpse of that thing, which is dead and unmoving. It's real dead.
Mage hand, high five. We're close enough. What? This whole time.
I like to imagine that what your characters did was just about as cool as what you guys just did, where you like couldn't quite reach each other over the table, so you guys are like.
I'm currently on a no
He just
physical
has no
contact.
shame. He's not worried about it.
Okie dokie. Braum
I
is up.
throw a mage hand out. It's a high five. It doesn't come back. It's just like hanging there. It's like,
I guess Braum will take this opportunity to get himself down at the level with everybody else. So he'll use dash to get down. Yeah, to get down to there. As he's like the last person who can be helpful from up top with ranged. So he will get up there, or he'll get down there.
He can yell insults about their mother being a hamster from the top.
He can. But it would take roughly 700 rounds of combat for him to kill one of these things, doing 1d4 of damage every round.
It should be 2 at our level. 5th level, it bumps up to 2d4.
Oh yeah, 2d4. Okay.
350 rounds of
Yep.
combat.
Get there.
Alar, you're up.
I'm going to stab the one that's on Nula.
Okay.
Or attempt to. 14.
14 will hit.
Moving blade.
You get a 6. You get a 6. You get a 6.
I wish 10. 28 points of damage.
To axe guy?
To
That guy.
Shield guy, since axe guy is grappling me. We're apparently
Sword
fighting
goes
crossways.
in, and then boom, the thunder damage goes out, and the bad guy ruptures, and the top half of his body explodes, and the disembodied legs just sort of like topple over.
I like our
Dead.
fighting style. You keep shoving your shield to defend me. I keep stabbing you. to kill you. Works out nicely.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Nope. Still grappled. So.
Alrighty. Fidget, you up?
We're gonna Ray of Frost this guy.
Okay.
That is a 16.
That does hit.
Freeze!
Okay. Kind of a lazy one, but that's fine.
Look, I'm
We're on Cold Pun like 400. I guess I get it.
3 points of
3
cold
points.
damage.
Okay.
That's how good that one was.
Alrighty. So he is slightly chillier than he was a second ago. And anything else?
No.
Okay. Nula, you're up.
I'm going
I'm
to.
gonna take a couple steps away from
Sure,
Attack.
sure, sure.
24 to hit.
Oh yeah,
4 damage. 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay.
Second attack. Oh, a 9.
9 will not hit. Okay. All right. So Dog Monster, as this guy gets runs and gets exploded, the other guy gets exploded behind, and the Dog Monster sort of like swivels around, locks in on the final creature there, and is going to attack it. Missing. Dog Monster sucks today. Okay, that's all it's going to do. That's its turn. It is the creature's turn. The creature will take 2 shots at Alar.
Protected.
Okay. What would have been a critical is instead of 1.
Thank you.
And for round 2...
You rolled 20 and a 1.
Oh, I gotta roll this one normal. What's that? I rolled a 20 and a 1, yeah. The second one is a 20, a dirty 20, so that one will hit.
Okay.
Uh,
Can I dodge?
Yep. 5 points, so you'll take 2.
Okay.
And that's its turn. It's not gonna do anything else. Walter.
We're gonna Eldritch Blast the shadow guy from here.
The one grappling Alar.
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
Both beams probably hit because the minimum was a 20.
Yeah.
11 points of force damage, and they go that way.
into the dog
Just-
monster.
I think
It's-
the
Yeah,
wall.
sort of. Kind of past the dog monster. And they lose their grip on Alar. And so it is put it like against the wall there.
I got the tail.
Like that, yeah, the tail. Perfect. Okay. Anything else? You want to run slightly further away from the fight? Yeah. Just put your mini on like the piano back there.
Now I'm 100. Oh, actually no. I'm only gonna move a couple feet away.
Okay.
Just like just barely at the edge
Sure.
of my range.
All right.
You got this, guys.
I like the idea that like you guys are in this desperate fight for your lives, and then like way at the other side, like Morgan has like the scope, and she's like 3 degrees left, wind speed 5 knots, and he's just like, Pew!
Adjust left. 5 for effect.
Sweet. Alrighty, and Brahm is up.
120 feet of range. I'm taking 120 feet of range,
Brahm will run up and he will attack with his rapier.
and then half health again.
Oh, half health. I saw you said half elf again.
Brahm
My
misses.
ears have sprouted a little bit.
All right. Brahm's like, why did I even take this out? This is.
You still got a golden D20 use.
That's true. It is true. How about this? How about Brahm crits with his golden D20 because it's 10 o'clock, and he does. It doesn't matter because that guy has 4 hit points left. So he just. Yeah, he just like pulls his rapier out and he just goes like this. And it just goes, sticks into its head and it drops dead to the ground. That is Brahm's turn.
Gonna look at the big dog creature, and I'm very carefully going to sheathe my weapon.
Okay. Fidget.
Yeah, we're gonna wait and see what it does.
Okay, so you're holding action.
Yep.
Okay.
Noah, put your weapon down. Put it down.
Can I hold an action too?
So you hold your action, and its head like follows the falling creature as Brahm like strikes it down, and then it like slowly turns, and then it goes.
Swear to God, if this thing has dimension door. Oh, that's not great. It takes a swing.
But we all have held actions.
Your held actions will go off.
Yeah.
Well, 2 of you have held
Yeah.
actions. So it takes a swing at you, Nula. I don't think that's going to hit. 14 will not hit, right?
No.
Okay, so it will miss. Go ahead and kick off your held actions.
Nat 20
Nice.
and 13.
Oh, the 13 does not hit.
So I roll this twice. That's 3. That's 6. That's 9 plus 4, so 13 damage.
Okay. So you slam into the dog monster. Sort of the static around it kind of like flickers a little bit. Fidget, what's your action you're doing?
Ray of Frost.
Frost.
Your pun?
1. This is getting cold.
Okay. A 1, you said?
Yes, and-
No, 1 does not hit. Okay. They're all dead. Walter.
What? Double that ones.
Okay.
1 in
You
400.
somehow shoot both of your own feet. It's a little hard to see. You're a little far away.
The whole I don't have dark vision.
The light is
problem.
the light's not great. And that thing is like it has sort of its own weird space distorting kind of effect, so it's hard to hit him. That would bring us to Brahm, who is going to turn around and he's going to try and attack with psychic blades against this thing. He's going to miss again. Oh boy. Brahm, you fool. Alright, so he's going to miss with Bardic Inspiration. The Psychic Blades. Alar.
And draw the rapier and try and stab it.
Okay.
20, not natural.
20 will hit.
Let's see. 5, 10, 26 points of damage.
Okay.
Today's March 10th.
Yes, it's Mario Day.
Can we somehow kill this thing by like hopping on its head? We'll get back upstairs.
Creature dropping from that height will do a certain amount of damage. You can, if you line it up properly, theoretically. All right.
I'll try to push it against the wall. You just get up there.
Fidget.
Ray Frost. 19.
19 will hit.
10 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Damn.
I'm done.
I'm spent.
It's a little bit slower.
Nula.
Alright, I'm going to attack with my hammer. That is 23.
Yes, will hit.
And that is 26.
Both will hit.
That's 10 damage. That's 6 damage.
Okay. Alright, so you guys are just like wailing into this thing. And it is hard to tell as it doesn't seem to like, as you kind of like hit it and cut it and stab it, it doesn't seem to have like blood or really like... It doesn't seem to be inflicting damage, although you know like from the first time you fought it, if you hit it enough, eventually it like dissipates. So it's hard to gauge like what condition it's in. And that will bring us to its turn again, and it is going to kind of scan, and then it once again poof, disappears. It reappears right by Fidget, and then takes an additional 5-foot step and is going to swing at him for a 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conjuration was really super fun to play. Like, I think it was like 17 or 18. Like a high level one. You get like a free spell of your spell school to cast basically at will. So you just like misty step around like this nonsense creature.
12 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make a DC 12 strength save.
Let's start with that. No.
Okay, you fall prone as it just like bashes you into the ground. Alrighty. Walter.
Gonna try to push it away from him.
Okay.
Did you do it again?
No, not quite that bad. But I definitely am not hitting either one of these.
Okay.
It's a 2 and a 3, and
So
then like plus 6.
We're making our way up.
once again, the lights are just just going like everywhere to the darkness.
It's not dead yet! Stop celebrating!
Morgan is in her safe space right now. I am not having her getting destroyed. I'm gonna move 30 feet, like catty corner.
Let's see.
So like we're currently here. We're currently here. I'm moving like.
Yeah, you're gonna be buttoned right up on that like that chasm right there at this point.
I'm gonna go here.
Sure. Okay. It is Brahm's turn. He's going to move 15 feet, kind of like that way, like diagonal. He's like, yeah, I'm not standing in like group crushing range for people, so he's gonna move a little bit. And he goes, "Hey, your back legs look real weird." And it takes 2d4 psychic damage.
Real sensitive about those legs.
It takes 3 points.
Weird
of
little
psychic
baby
damage.
legs.
You got weird baby legs. Looks real gross. 3 psychic damage. Okay. He's like, this is very ineffective. All right. Ilar.
Charge
Okay.
and stabby and missity.
Okay. And Fidget.
We're gonna stand up.
Yep.
Ray Frost.
Ray Frost.
Advantage. It's a 1. It's a 6. So
no.
we're gonna miss. Say freeze.
Oh boy.
I die for cover as one of those almost hits me.
Alrighty. Nula.
I'm gonna move 30, so 5, 10, 15.
20, 25, 30.
Yep.
And then attack.
Swing
with
away.
My hammer.
Hit into your legs.
That's 10.
That will not hit.
That's 22.
22 will hit.
That's 8.
8 points of damage. Okay. Alright, so you again wham into this thing with your hammer. It sort of like shifts sideways a little bit from the impact. And then it kind of like quickly reevaluates again and then just disappears and appears in front of Braum. You guys here go, shit!
Stay with the group, man!
This time it will hit him. So it's going to deal 9 points of bludgeoning to Braum. And Braum is not knocked prone. He manages to stay on his feet.
I'm charging my dice.
Okay. Walter.
And double 20s.
Okay, eventually.
19 and a 14.
The 19 will hit, the 14 will go wide.
Go 10 feet that way.
Alrighty.
And do 5 points of force damage.
Okay. 5 points and move him 10 feet. Yep. Alrighty, so it kind of like skids silently. And Braum is up. And he's going to...
Make fun of its legs again!
He's like, I am not in safe mocking distance. He is going to... he'll use his last bestow curse. It will... Let's see. You gotta move him up so he can touch it. And he will inflict... He'll inflict the wisdom saving throw effect on it with his curse.
That is his favorite one.
That's his favorite
Thanks,
one.
bro.
Not disadvantage on wisdom saving throw, the one where it has to make
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
or make a saving throw or do nothing. Alright, so that's his turn, and Alar, you're up.
Wisdom saving throw?
Alright, it gets a... what's his pluses? 14? Just makes it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will move up on it.
Okay. Fidget.
Ray Frost.
Okay.
Crit.
Nice. Okay. What the hell is this spell save?
18 points of cold damage.
Okay. So this cold damage like splashes over the side of it, and you see like the static around it is starting to go like real haywire, and it becomes very, very like Alar, as you're like in front of it, it's like it's almost hard to look at as it's in front of you at this point. And it is Nula's turn.
Oh, good. 30 back. And attack twice with my hammer.
Okay.
That's 26.
That hits.
And 26.
Okay.
That's 6 damage plus 12 damage. So
Okay.
18 total.
You come in and you like wail straight down on the top of this thing's canine like skull head, and your hammer just crushes the entire like right side of its skull, caving it in, shattering. You just kind of see the empty hollow space between it. The whole creature just like basically goes this way and flips over, does like a complete roll, and kind of like lands back sort of on one leg, and you see it kind of like turns its head in your direction, just the one good eye socket still left, the other side of its head just caved in, and it sort of leans back its head like this and goes like, see the jaw like goes wide, as if it's like roaring at you, though no sound comes out, and once again it's sort of like bursts. And on cue, as you dispatch the final of these creatures, the pressure begins to build in your heads again as a temporal echo begins. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw, everybody. Braun fails again.
18.
Okay.
Looks like 16 for me.
Okay. It was an 8. What was yours?
12.
12. You're the 18. You're the 16. Okay. Everybody but Fidget fails.
Okay.
Taking 12 points of psychic damage.
Wait, everybody but Fidget fails?
Everybody but Fidget fails.
You? Oh, jeez, I got
Yep. The DC on these has been getting higher every time you've done one.
I imagine. What was the damage? Sorry.
12.
Oh, cool.
This is not helping Fidget's like delusions that he's
And even further assisting in Fidget's belief that he is the chosen one. You're actually kind of the only one close enough to hear the conversation that's about to take place, as the others are like kind of way across the cavern. But once again, everything is slightly newer.
As soon as I realize what's happening, I'm gonna spring.
Sure. I'll go through this. I'll tell you like what you guys get out of it essentially. So where are we at here? There it is. So the space doesn't look all that different as the echo takes over. You are still standing on the same stone ground next to the same hole in the floor. The main difference is that the rubble besides the opening is once again an intact winch and crane with a thick cable descending down into the darkness below. A trio of elves stand near it, taking inventory of a number of pieces of debris that seem to have been hauled up out of the hole. You begin to feel a vibration through the soles of your shoes. If assuming Fidget is wearing shoes, I don't know how he lives his life. Maybe just through the bottom of his feet.
Actually, just levitates everywhere.
The elves seem to feel it as well. They stop what they're doing, reacting to it, and they look up at one another. The rumbling grows in intensity, and it becomes difficult to remain standing. One of the elves topples over on all fours and braces himself on the ground. The other shouts, "An earthquake! You get away from the crane!" The rumbling continues, shaking the entire cavern and causing the dust and debris to rain down all around. With a resounding crack, a large piece of rock falls from above, slamming into the crane and smashing part of it away from the anchor, sending it twisting into the abyss below. The quake goes on for several minutes before receding enough for you and the echoes of these elves to regain your feet. "Are you hurt?" "No. You?" "I am unharmed. The crane, though." A second rumbling begins. And the elves look at one another. "An aftershock?" "No. This feels different." And indeed it does. At this point, those of you running towards this scene arrive here. This is not the low rumbling of the ground shifting, but rolling waves of pressure in the air. One of the elves' eyes go wide. "The security crew! Did they clear out those beasts yet? Was the tunneler secured?" As he asks this question, panic spreads across his face. A blinding light bursts upwards from the chasm below. You are all knocked from your feet. As you look up from the ground, shielding against the light, you see the elves writhing in place, their bodies burning and charring to nothing, even as they go through a hideous transformation. They seem to be splitting at the seams. Their internal timelines fragment and splinter. They are pulled apart in an endless procession of themselves, stretching out in either direction, backward and forward throughout time itself, before being slammed back together. As the echo fades away, you see the result of the explosion of this so-called chronal tunneler. The Invarians weren't just killed. They were obliterated across their entire timeline, leaving the corpses charred and mashed together as multiple versions of the individuals were smashed into the same temporal position. The creatures you have been fighting in this facility all along. Once again, the echo fades, and all is quiet.
Holy shit.
Kind of makes you think people that got killed by the dragon might have had it all lucky.
Yeah.
Wanna see what's downstairs?
Came all this way.
How long have these guys been like this?
The Invarian Empire fell 1,500 years ago. And these people were here then, so this happened over 1,500 years ago.
Here's a fun question. How long has it felt like for them?
An
Did
instant
experience time the same way?
and an eternity.
Alright.
I'm gonna offer to bury them, but they've disappeared into mental imageries.
Fidget. Give us a rock with a light. Let's see how deep this chasm is.
I mean, we can do Arcane Eye again.
Okay, you got it? Go for it.
Should we heal up? Heal up at all? Before?
Please, says a very damaged Walter.
Brahm is also going to use a healing spell on himself.
I think I have a rib that's
He's
not
gonna-
in the right spot right now.
Brahm is going to...
I only have 2 second level spells, and I only have. Why is this not going? I think I only have 15 lay on hands. So I'm going to use one of my second level spell slots to heal you. So 2d8 plus 2.
Brahm is going to use a Cure Wounds on himself at second level.
Anyone else?
I'm
We should do what we can.
gonna look at the healing potion I have. No, just in case you drop. He's looking a bit rough, but
Or should we short rest up here?
I got nothing left for a short rest.
I could benefit from it, but it's up to you. I don't think it's. It's up to you. I mean, it's clear.
Let's reconnoiter the area. You cast that. We know we can retreat into that one room, seal the door.
Yeah, I guess while you're arcane eye exploring, the rest of us can take a short rest. If that's okay with you.
I mean, that's only going to be true. Does that last the entire hour? I don't remember. Up to an hour. Yep, up to an hour. So I can do that, and you guys can short rest. It's fine.
Alright, so as you start doing that, Brahm is like, before we go sitting around again, he points at where the dog disappeared. He's like, at least that one is coming back after we kill it. I don't know how long we have down here. In case the rest of them start getting back up, we might want to consider, like...
Do you think that's the same one?
Sure as shit look like the same one to me.
But they
I
said
don't
there
know.
were multiple creatures down in the.
Well, we don't know what that one is, and we're dealing with time magic going wrong, so we don't know whether
How
those
long has
things...
it been since we fought the first one?
3-4 hours?
I mean,
We don't know whether those things will reform or if they reform. We know that one probably
Might have.
did.
'Cause I'm just saying we should probably not dilly-dally down here any more than we have to.
Alright, then we won't short rest now and just.
Okay.
I don't know that we can fight these things again on the way back and make it out of here.
Yeah.
To the bottom.
Alright,
So you're arcane eyeing, yes?
are we taking time for that? Or are we
how long does it take to cast?
It takes an action and lasts for up to an hour.
All right, go ahead and cast it.
Why don't... Can you carry Fidget while he's arcane-eyeing ahead?
And
I don't think there's anything that specifically states that he can't function normally while operating that arcane eye.
I'm going
I
to.
just assume that it's disorienting and Fidget is bad at things.
I'm going to break out the last rope, and if there's a sufficiently large chunk of rubble, tie that off at one end and wait for him to give the word.
Entire half that remains of the crane.
Yeah. And hope that 50 feet is long enough.
Okay. So, as Fidget casts his spell, pulling his cloth scrap down over one of his eyes, and Fidget, the invisible sensor, appears, and you send it down into the pit. And as it descends into the depths, one final layer down, that is where we call an end tonight's session. So, go ahead and start your votes for Golden D20. Thank you guys for joining us. It has been a bundle of fun as we approach the end of this this lovely little adventure arc, to discover what is waiting below the final level of this facility. So if you are in chat with us and have been with us through tonight's episode, I don't know if we have anybody left here, but you want to give a shout out for a Golden D20, please feel free to do so. Thank you. Anybody who did something fun or funny or hilarious or amazing during tonight's session that deserves a free natural 20 during next week's episode, feel free to cast them a vote. In the event of a tie, we go to the audience to help decide who should get it. Thank you again to our sponsors, Marble Moon Studio and the 8th House. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp. Thank you to Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, the Twitch affiliate program, for making small streamers like us able to not spend all of our own money trying to put out nice, fun content for everybody. And I don't know how long it's been, but that camera's out again.
Yeah.
It's out of the perfect position too, because Carlos just looks.
Carlos is like. So
wrong.
I don't know when you did this during tonight's session, but the camera went out just then.
Like, a while ago.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, but thank you.
Consummate professional.
we are trying. We are trying to fix this, but this equipment is very expensive, and that's life. So. Sorry for the camera issues. We'll look at that for next week. I have everybody's votes. Okay, so I have a vote for Nula for lecturing Alar on not touching. I have one for. I have Alar for. I believe it says hearing everything Nula could not. I don't understand it, but that's what it says. We have Fidget for ice puns, and we have Walter for radioactive disco lights. We have a 4-way tie.
We give it to Braun again, just not explain why.
Yes.
We can't.
Oh.
Somebody who is here should get it.
Can I vote for Alar to get it?
I don't know what that said.
If there's a tie,
I'm trying to think of what my tie-breaking vote would have been. I didn't really consider it ahead of time.
Alar for herding cats.
I think my tie-breaking vote would have been... So here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to break the tie in favor of Alar to give him the Golden D20 for next week. For Mission Impossible Swan Dive out the window. But I am going to award inspiration to Walter for the sweet disco light maneuver. That was extremely effective.
I will happily accept
You take an inspiration die. So thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week for what is likely to be the very exciting conclusion of this adventure arc. the Scarred Lands, that has been called. And before my poor boy over here, who's been waiting so patiently to get let out of this house, loses his dang mind, we will say goodnight to you, and we will see you next week. Bye!